Hey, I am back from LA. Everything's sort of getting back to normal. How's everybody doing? Great to be back with you all. It is going to be an exciting night. Chris is about to be dropping in. He is getting ready for the show, and we're going to be covering all kinds of exciting stuff tonight. Way more announcements than I expected this week, including a huge drop from Discotex and of course, a bunch from Kino, but the man of the hour, Mr. Chris Haskell, is here. Chris,
Hello.
welcome, sir.
Thank you. How you doing?
Doing well. How you been?
Doing well. Happy Thursday.
Yeah, it's great to see you again.
Thank you. Same to you. Let's see. What's new since the last time I saw you? They Live was there. What's right below They Live?
That is Evil Dead 2, and then I've got the Your Next Steelbook, and I think a Rob Zombie Steelbook and something else.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing steelbooks on the wall. Is that new?
Yeah, no, it's I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got about 8 of the little shelves. They're acrylic shelves, so they're see-through, so they don't hide the bottom of it. And I've got like the Universal Classic Monsters steelbooks with those, and I've got I rigged these up so that there's 2 of them, and each one can really only fit 3. But if you put them close enough, you can balance one in between 2 of them, so it can fit 7. So I cheated the system. So I've got 7 Universal Monsters ones. So I've got that set up. I've got a John Carpenter shrine with 9 of his steel books. That's just a mishmash. And yeah, I think I've got a couple others around the room. It's kind of crazy. Good to see you. We got a lot of new stuff for you to cover this time, though.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Ah, phew. Sorry. Had to do that because the house is not fully asleep yet.
Totally get it.
Was not expecting to disrupt your story. Sorry.
All I said is we got some new stuff to cover about you this time as well.
Yeah, we do.
Why don't you tell us what Punk Vacation is?
Okay. Thank you for the chance to do that. And John, thank you for already listening. That's wild. So I was talking to Adam and Zach, the co-hosts of They Live by Film. We were talking about, we had this idea to kind of branch out a little bit. I definitely want to talk about that in a minute. Definitely want to. So we were talking about things to do. We kind of wanted to branch out. There's some other announcements coming out about what each of us is doing individually, as well as sticking with They Live by Film. And I was just digging around, and I had a bunch of ideas. I all thought they were great. And then I just did a search for Vinegar Syndrome Podcast, and I was like, wait, what? No one's done this yet?
Right.
So, all right, I guess I'll do a Vinegar Syndrome Podcast. And so started thinking about what it would be. Reached out to a few different folks at Vinegar Syndrome to see if they wanted to be on episode 1. Curtis Spieler said yes. And, it's always nice to hear from the restoration folks. They see everything 40 times. So they know these movies really well. And the first episode went up, and honestly, the reception was great. Like, we had more listens on episode 1 than we have had on the last 4 or 5 episodes of They Live by Film. So it was really strong right out of the gate, and we hope to just keep building on that.
We will dive into more about what that is as we go over the announcement about the podcast later on tonight. But I do want to say up front, if you want to open 2 tabs or pull out your phone while you're watching this and go subscribe, the first episode's fantastic. Chris is a great person, and Curtis is great at his job, and so the combination of the 2 of them on this episode is just amazing. Did you see what Erica said? Erica says, Ryan said I had to start another podcast too, or else I'm kicked out of the network. Thanks, Chris. Well, just wait, because Chris is starting like 3 more, so we'll talk about that eventually.
Actually, wait, if Erica's in the room, can we talk about Erica for a second?
I think we should, yeah.
Everybody obviously go buy Sweetest Taboo if you haven't already. That's the first thing. But the video essay on Chinese torture chamber story, I think it's on part 2, or maybe it's just an extra that's on both of them. I don't know exactly how it is, but holy cow, it is one of the best video essays I've seen in a long time. Just, Erica, well done. Very, very excellent, well researched, entertaining, and it's about torture, so it's interesting just by the nature of it. Like,
Right.
it's great.
I do want to point out, I feel like there are a couple people that do visual essays that have stepped up in the last few months of releases. I feel like for a while they were, I don't know, a little elementary, we'll say. And I think there's been a handful of them, and I've tried to call them out when possible, but I've definitely missed some. But they are, I don't know, people are like starting to up the game, and I'm loving to see that. Loving to see that.
Good. Phew. Getting you back in your good graces.
Well, first, let's talk about some pickups, Chris. What have you been getting in lately?
So I took a bit of a break this summer, and then I went full ham about a month ago. So I've had a lot coming in the last, I guess, 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I've had to make some apologies to the home. The one of the things I'm most excited to dig into is I do twice a year. I do a bunch of third window films order, like I order a bunch of third window films from Terracotta, and I got in their directors' companies movies.
Ooh,
And
nice.
yeah, I just can't wait. Like the commentary, or no, the episode that Sam Deegan did with Adam Terrell got me super pumped for those. Plus, there's been just a ton of discussion online, and I think one of the shows you did, there was a discussion about the Directors Company series as well. It's all kind of running together because I've been on planes a lot, so listening to a ton of podcasts. But it's just, I can't wait. Like movies like Door and The Crazy Family or something like that. I'm so pumped for those. And then what was the other big one? I did a big order. The partner labels. Yeah, exactly. Sam's podcast is going to be bad for my wallet too. I did a big order with, what I consider a big order with OCN titles. So I got a whole bunch that I'm catching up on, and trying to. I'm caught up on Visual Vengeance as well now. I was about 5 behind, caught up on them. Then obviously the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. Oh, then the Criterion. I waited until the last day, and I was like, damn it. So I wound up buying, I think, maybe 12 Criterion titles. But it was a bit of an expensive 6 weeks. What about you?
Well, I got a handful that I want to talk about, but I do want to say there is a much longer video about pickups coming over the Patreon here in the next week or so. If you want to check that out, make sure you sign up at the link in the description below. But some big ones that just landed that I cannot wait to dive into soon. Secretary from Imprint. This is a classic, and the big thing for me is all of the updated special features. Imprint has gone full bore into some releases over the last couple months, and this is one of the big ones. And then the line that they've done that has impressed me the most, that feels like it was made for me, got in the After Dark Neo Noir Cinema Collection 3, and I mean, I just gotta say, these are all not just like erotic thrillers, but these are all just great neo noirs, mostly from the 90s. And there's something special about that period of time where it's, all filmed on location, all done with squibs, all done in ways that are just incredible to immerse yourself in. And all 3 of these box sets have been not necessarily better than the rest because they've all been great, but they're really nice to live in for a couple weeks as you watch all the films and all the features. One box that I don't want to live in much is their Martin Scorsese Films of Faith. This is one that I only had one of the films in this box set, so this made sense to me to pick up. I understand for the people that have not because they already got the Criterion, but I do want to say the booklet in this is so great. It's a really, really interesting booklet, really well written, and just loving it. We're probably going to talk about this more in the next couple weeks, but new Mondo Macabro titles came in as well.
Yep.
While I was in LA, and then everything else, we'll talk about that on the Patreon pickup show. What about some recent watches other than Vinegar Syndrome? Have you been diving into much of anything else?
Oh yeah, I've had so all related to the podcast, I think. You know what is probably a movie that I have to talk about for the podcast, but I want to talk about, I mean, for the Punk Vacation podcast, but I want to talk about it anyways, is Intrepido's Punks.
Yeah.
Go watch that movie, y'all. That movie is fantastic. It feels like some combination of like Ozploitation and like Italian genre film. It's just awesome. And like the punks in that movie, they nailed it. Like ironically, the punks in Punk Vacation, I think that the director had never seen a punk before or met one before, maybe like read about them in a magazine or something. But yeah, Intrepido's Punk is awesome. What was one that I really loved? I was surprised at how much I like Touch, the cinematograph release.
Yeah.
I'm probably a little bit down on 90s movies that are not genre films, like just regular kind of studio 90s
Understandable,
movies.
yeah. Dramas and stuff.
Yeah, but that like the dark humor in that's awesome. It's an Elmore Leonard novel, so a lot of satire, a lot of dark humor, and Skeet Ulrich was awesome, which I can't really like. How many times can you say that? And then two more I'll just call out. So is Chris out of sync for anyone else? Oh, I don't know. Tell me if I am.
I was literally just sending you a private chat that your sound has bounced around a little bit and your video is a bit laggy.
Okay, hold on.
While you're checking that out, I'll go over a couple of mine real quick. I, over the last couple of weeks being in LA and then catching up on some things that I missed, I've watched more than I expected. So I got a handful that I really want to go over. I can't really remember what I shared that I watched last week when I did that big live show with everybody at Jeremy's place. So I'll say that we all, while we were in LA, we all watched Criminally Insane together. That was one of the I think his name is Nick Millard double features that Vinegar Syndrome just did. And let me make sure I got that name right. Yep, Nick Millard. And that one, I mean, it's fun. It's not the best film, but God, is it an interesting watch. And it's wild to hear that they took like 5 weeks to film it because it didn't seem like it needed to be. One that I really want to shout out from this year that I don't think I brought up last week, Snack Shack, came out in 2024. It is the same director that did Dinner in America. Arrow Video released that, about 2 years ago. And Snack Shack is damn near close to as good as Dinner in America, which I thought was a masterpiece. I was stoked on it, and I really wish people would watch both of those movies more because the director really deserves to be a little more well known. I want to say, much to the chagrin of Dan Sibner in the chat, that I watched Trap from M. Night Shyamalan in the theater this last weekend. And yeah, it's illogical. It's nonsensical. Nothing about the storyline works unless you're able to just give up on the fact that this is supposed to really make sense. That being said, I was entertained the entire time through. I don't know why Shyamalan works for me. I can't say much more than that. It's not going to be a masterpiece for probably anybody, but it's a solid 3.5 for me. It was fun, and that's what I wanted. That's exactly what I needed that night. The last thing, I've spent some extra time with shorts this week. I've watched 3 more shorts from Sean Baker that I had not seen and was able to find online. And then I really also went back to a film that I loved from just a couple years ago and rewatched After Sun. And After Sun is a masterpiece. I think everybody needs to watch After Sun if you have not. Charlotte Wells, first-time director. It is depressing and sad. Works better on a rewatch even, and is a really rewarding rewatch. Love me some After Sun. Carry on, Chris.
Interesting. I have a couple questions there. What's the movie you liked called Shake Shack?
Snack Shack, not Shake Shack. Snack Shack came out this year, and it is from the director. His name is Adam Raymeyer.
Okay.
And it's great.
Okay. I really want to see, speaking of new directors that are kind of hitting their prime, I really want to see, what's it called? The new Yorgos movie that you just announced today.
Kinds of
talking
Kindness.
about it later.
Yep.
Kind of Kindness or whatever. Kinds of Kindness or whatever.
Yep.
What was the movie he just made with Emma Roberts? Where she goes through
Do
like
we
a
mean Emma Stone?
probably. Um,
Although now I'm picturing it with Emma Roberts, and
sorry, I watch like 3 new movies a year. I'm not great with modern with the kids.
for some reason I thought you watched more. Interesting.
No, that's
That
Zach.
Poor Things is the one from last year.
Poor Things. Poor Things is like, I mean, like people are gonna be talking about that movie for 100 years. That movie's amazing. So I can't wait to see Kinds of Kindness with Emma Stone too. I hope.
Yep,
Good.
she is in it.
The only ones I really want to call out. So Radiance put out a Mario Bava movie called Planet of the Vampires, which y'all like. This is another one that's like just watch that movie. Like
Right.
holy cow, for a sci-fi movie that's like it's fully filmed on a studio lot. But he did something magic with smoke and lights and like set design. It was breathtaking. Like some of the shots in that film, when I was writing about it, I just kept thinking about something Kurosawa would make if he tried to make a sci-fi. It's just like every frame a painting kind of thing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. I'm glad y'all agree. And then there's one more I had to list up before. The new Vinegar Syndrome archive title. I know that kind of gets buried because they have like 300 of them, but They Call Me Macho Woman is a must own. Like that movie is unbelievable. It's so funny. The bad guy, like the main baddie, wears like a little kind of like a strap on his head that has like a unicorn kind of dildo spike thing that he impales people with. It's fantastic, and it's just full camp. Like, oh, guys, it's wonderful. It's kind of hidden in that line.
I am astounded. I got to watch that. That sounds amazing.
It's really good. It's really good.
I also don't think I mentioned what we're going to be covering until after the announcements tonight. Tonight, Chris and I think we've done this before, but we tend to fall back on this because we're both just so passionate about the little guys. Essentially, we're going to be talking about some underrepresented labels tonight, places that people forget exist, labels that put out such good things that more people just desperately need to hear about them. I feel really bad because you did share some of your list, and then I went and gathered all of my titles, and I looked down, and I think all but 1 or 2 of mine are all Region B. So hopefully you're over in Europe or have a region-free player.
But if you don't have a region-free player by now, get one because it opens up a whole new world.
It really does. Anything else you want to cover before we jump into our announcements?
Who was the big holdout? Was it John? Was it Omaha John? Who was the big holdout on Region B?
John is a holdout, and then All That Is Man is a holdout too.
John, you got to do it, man.
Speaking of, when do we get the Hush announcement? That should be coming up soon.
But no, I don't have anything else.
All right. One thing I will say before we get into this, like I mentioned, there's a huge glut of Discotex titles. We're not going to rush through those necessarily, but I'm not going to take my time because Chris and I are both not anime fanatics and don't have a ton of knowledge. So we're mostly here to help educate people on those coming out. There are a couple of those, though, that I really want to highlight and really make sure that people understand are coming because they're very exciting. So we'll spend a little bit of time on them. But we get started in a really neat place because our first title this week, Zodiac on 4K. And this movie is great. This is like top 10 of all time for me. I adore this movie. Yeah, this is a big deal movie for me. This is coming on 4K on October 29th. And what's odd, this was filmed mostly in 1080p. And so I'm not sure the process for some of these. They absolutely can export to film, make a brand new print of it, and then upload that. Now, at this point, we don't know any details, so we'll find out later. But even if they didn't do that, the HDR from this probably would look pretty incredible. So we shall see. ZPAM is asking, is Zodiac 4K US only? That's the only one that's confirmed so far, although Paramount has been doing great to do European releases at the same time, so we shall see. And this one, like I said, October 29th, 4K. I don't think we're getting any new extras on this, but I adore this movie.
I'm gonna out out Erica here, and I hope you don't mind, Erica. But when it comes to popular releases, I think you and I tend to have similar taste. I need to know your opinion of Zodiac because I've never seen this because I have had low interest. But if Ryan's saying it's a top 10 and you say you like it, then I'll add this to my watch list.
It's a methodical serial killer thriller done in a way that's I don't know, it's so well made, like it's so great.
Okay.
And
All right.
Erica even says I
All right.
really like Zodiac.
Sold. Not that I don't trust you, Ryan, but six episodes into Film Foundation, I realize our taste deviates slightly on some things.
I'm not shocked.
Okay, Zodiac's on my watch list then.
Hell yeah, can't wait to hear what you think. Next one, another masterpiece in my opinion, Addams Family Values, coming on 4K from Paramount on October 29th as well. Not seeing any new features coming on this. However, I think this is even better than the original. This movie is hilarious. This movie is silly. It looks great. I can't wait to see this in 4K. The HDR is going to look stupendous.
Who is the director here? I think they really nailed the tone on this.
They really did, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like this one a lot. It's interesting. Paramount's so confusing to me right now because it's like I don't know, they're holding on in a way that's exciting, but I don't know. They're also not fully committing to physical media, so I don't know. They're in a confusing place for me right now. Oh, Barry Sonnenfeld. Oh heck yeah, it's a good comedian director.
On top of the whole Paramount, not seemingly being fully dedicated, on top of all that, they're still very hit or miss on 4K. For every, I don't know, 2 titles that look stupendous on 4K, one of them looks awful. One of them looks like it was transferred by somebody that has never seen the movie ever, and they just spit out whatever the scanner got. And I don't get it. I really wish they'd put more time into some of them, but I imagine these two, because of the titles, are probably going to get a little more attention.
Mm-hmm. No, sure. I'll probably buy it. I don't have a lot of Paramount films, but I'll probably buy this one.
Sibner wants to know, can't tell, but is Paramount using the Paramount Scares logo on top of the slip spine? They absolutely are. They have not been doing that for tons, but it looks like they're treating that as a very specific line and not just those 2 box sets that they've got announced. Well, one announced, one released last year. That was a weird way to say that. Next up, our first Kino title of the week is The Ballad of Josie from 1967. This one is coming soon. The big deal here is it is a Technicolor film, so it should look gorgeous, but also stars Doris Day and Peter Graves and George Kennedy. Pretty massive cast. Have never seen this one.
No, I'm just looking it up. I get into a little bit of trouble for my take on Westerns. I love spaghetti Westerns, but just regular Westerns, not a huge fan. So I know that's not a popular take, but a frontier widow aims to raise sheep to spy as a cattle rancher in old Wyoming. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
See, I'm the same as you. I love me some spaghetti Westerns, and I just got invited, somebody from our Discord, actually, speaking of the Patreon earlier, if you are into conversations on all this stuff, join the Patreon, join the Discord. You'll love it. But one of our Discord members is starting a podcast about Westerns and invited me on. And I went, just so you know, I've got some takes on Westerns. But that'll be fun. We'll be talking about that more in the near future, I'm sure.
Good.
Next one from them. This one excites me. Vice Squad from 1982. Getting a 4K release from Kino eventually, who knows when. Brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master, so it won't be one of those Studio Canal SDR releases that they're doing. This one, of course, starring the man Wingshauser, directed by Gary Sherman. This movie's fantastic. Love Vice.
Wingshauser was the guy in Champagne and Bullets, right? Famously.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's what he's famous for. But
definitely not famous for that.
In my house, that's what he's famous for. Yeah, this movie is awesome. An unlikely Hollywood hooker helps a detective set a trap for a mutilator pimp. Sold.
Yeah, this movie's sleazy, it's gross, it's fun, it's entertaining through and through.
Yeah. Also, look at the poster art on the from Letterbox. It makes it look awesome.
What is it on Letterboxd? Let me see. I love all the alternate. Oh, that's the Scream Factory cover art.
Okay. Wait, ZPAM, is that true? This was an inspiration from Maxine? Or is that a joke?
No, it definitely was.
Oh, heck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is one of those sleazy 80s films that Ty West definitely referred to.
The unicorn movie is called They Call Me Macho Woman. It's so good. It's a Vinegar Syndrome archive title.
Oh man, some great comments there. Next up, speaking of Paramount, they are releasing on October 29th South Park, Not Suitable for Children. This is another one of their like TV specials that they've been doing for Paramount Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, they are all coming out on physical media for people that still love South Park. I have not seen this. I don't think I've watched a South Park episode or anything in a very, very long time.
I'm trying to think the last thing I saw from them. Probably something around COVID. Probably something around like their take on COVID. But yeah, their style of humor, it plays well to a certain age group, and I'm right in that age group. I have what's the theme on this one? I was reading up about this. It looks interesting.
Says after it's discovered that a teacher at South Park Elementary has an OnlyFans page.
Yeah, that's right.
Randy is compelled to take a closer look at the seedy underbelly of the world of online influencers.
That's what it was. Yeah, their take on OnlyFans feels right.
Similar surprise, Paramount's letting this go to physical. They've done the last 2 or 3, so I mean they've got kind of a pattern for it. Dude says Gary Sherman is an underrated director. Hope Lisa and Poltergeist 3 get reissues in 4K someday soon. Oh, yeah. Poltergeist 3 will definitely get one from Scream Factory, I bet.
Wait, isn't he? Wait, I'm just sorry. Isn't he the guy that did Dead and Buried? Gary Sherman? Hold on.
I believe so.
Yeah. Oh, no way. That's wild.
Dead and Buried, Poltergeist 3, Wanted Dead or Alive.
Huh. Yeah, way to go, Gary Sherman.
All right. That is South Park. Next, coming soon from BBC, the Doctor Who 60th anniversary specials. Again, I'm not a Doctor fan, but yeah, I'm glad this is coming out for everybody. This is getting a release in the UK and in the US. And yeah, more to pick up for fans of the Doctor.
Stan, I just had a Deathline to my watch list based on your recommendation. Is there a good starting place for Doctor Who? I feel very intimidated. There's like different doctors and different timelines and universes, and
from what I hear, if you are a fan of any of the actors that have played the Doctor, start with their first episode and watch their run and see if that is enough to entice you. And then from there, go and seek out everything else, because you might fall in love or you might find out that you absolutely hate the rest of them.
Fair enough, yeah. They had one guy recently that was good. Stan Awesome. Oh, okay. All right.
Peter Capaldi was one recently. Matt Smith was one recently. David Tennant was one recently.
David Tennant's the one I was thinking of. Yeah. But okay, we'll see.
Paul says start at 2005. Eric says the 4th Doctor is a good place to start for most people.
Y'all two fight it out and tell me who wins. No.
All right.
I'll see.
Resident Alien Season 3 is coming out on Blu-ray on August 27th from Universal. I had no idea this was still on. I've heard this is rather good, but yeah, Alan Tudyk he's always pretty great.
The actor, he didn't create this, he acts in it.
He acts, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, never seen it.
Alrighty.
Imprint is continuing to give us some overwhelmingly great TV releases. We got 2 announcements this time. Both are coming out on October 30th. The first one is The Baron, the feature films, and this is from 1966. And ITC transformed 4 of their episodes into 2 like feature-length film versions of them. So they do have a little bit of an extended version for each of these. And they also are throwing in Sue Lloyd at ITC as a bonus on here. But as usual, this is just a monumental piece for bonus features. If you are into these shows, if you are into anything surrounding the Baron or the actors, it is crazy how much they fit on these. So they're worth every penny if you're a big fan. They're great sets.
Okay.
The other one they announced, I'm super excited about. This one is called TV Movie of the Week Collection 1, which means hopefully they're planning a collection 2. This is 3 TV movies combined into one hard box set from them, limited to 1,500 copies. And 2 of them, first time on Blu-ray ever. We've got The Deadly Dream from 1971 and Baffled from 1972. And then the third film is Scream Pretty Peggy, which was also released by Kino Lorber. All of these have brand new special features, and it is a great looking set. I really love the style they went for to design the outer box on this. It's just super nostalgic of that era. This looks like an amazing set.
Are 80s TVs ladies any other commentaries or anything?
Not on this one. I don't think they've been invited to do any. Amanda Reyes, of course, who is kind of locked down the TV movie thing. She is featured in this box set, though.
Okay. That was a great episode. That's the one you had on, right? It was Amanda Reyes?
Well, Amanda Reyes, she's been on Disconnected, and then we also have 80s TV Ladies. Sharon has been on Film Foundations.
No, I remember the Amanda Reyes one, though. That was a great episode. Yeah. That was a really good episode.
Amanda's been everywhere.
Yeah.
She is somehow just, I don't know. She has so many commentaries over the last couple of years.
No, she's great. But also 80s TV's ladies. I mean, I guess we're saying their name a lot, but they're just encyclopedias. I was stunned. Like they really know what they're doing.
Yeah, they've got, I don't know, it's encyclopedic knowledge over some of these things, and they're the perfect ones to get for releases like this.
Wait, Eric, I'm just rereading your comment. You don't have The Prisoner? The only one you don't have is The First Hammer. Okay, good. I was going to say, please get The Prisoner if you don't have it. I just got that in. Oh, that was a pickup I got. I just got that in. That's my favorite TV show, probably of all time.
Whoa!
I don't watch a lot of TV, but
that makes sense.
I love The Prisoner. It's so good.
All right, next one. House of the Dragon Season 2 that just wrapped up on HBO is getting a 4K Steelbook release. This is the Steelbook art and a standard. These are both coming on November 19th. This will also get a Blu-ray release and I believe a DVD. But I've not watched this. I will probably wait for it to be over. I've still not watched Game of Thrones though either. I'll probably binge both of them when this is over.
I did jump on the Game of Thrones train. The amount that it drops off after George R. Martin stopped writing is insane. It just became a totally different show and not for the better. I don't think he wrote any of these, right? This is just a bunch of people.
Correct.
Nah, not interested.
You don't like George R. Tolkien Martinless TV?
I guess not. I've never read the novels, but they seem intimidating. They're all like 10,000 pages, but the TV show was phenomenal for the first few seasons.
Well, and people seem to love this year, but also Game of Thrones fell off a cliff, so I totally get it. Next, another one that I didn't know was still on. August 20th, Universal is releasing LaBrea on Blu-ray. This is the 3rd season of LaBrea, and this one's especially surprising to me because I don't recognize any of the names in this.
Another show I've never heard of. I'm sorry, I'm going to be really useless on TV. What does LaBrea translate to in here? I'll do it.
It translates to the Brea.
The Brea?
That was such a stupid joke. Oh, man.
Tar. How does that even play into teeth? All right.
Well, I imagine it's referencing the La Brea tar pits in LA where they found fossils in tar.
There you go. Someone that knows history.
Oh, Ronnie says this was the final season of La Brea. That makes sense. Okay, so it's not going on and on. Next one, Unearthed Films. We talked about this oh gosh, over a year ago now, I think, when Steven from Unearthed Films was on the channel. That's when we first found out that they were getting Evil Anko. However, we just found out a release date and that it's going to be a 4K. So December 10th, we're getting a 4K and Blu-ray release of Evil Anko starring Malcolm McDowell. And everything I've heard about this one is that it's amazing. This is from 2003. It's a little bit of a later Malcolm McDowell. I am oh man, Chris, that was funny. I'm very interested to see what this film is all about. And the synopsis on this one says, in 1984 in Kiev, a disgraced communist schoolteacher becomes a brutal, unfeeling serial killer based on the crimes of Andrei Chikatilo. Definitely interested in this. Unearthed, I don't know. I feel like Unearthed is kind of stepping up their game a little bit. They're getting kind of bigger titles. They're making a bigger impression with some of their stuff.
Yeah, this is. I remember when this came out. Actually, it was in the theater, the festival circuit. I think it did pretty well. Like, I think this was a pretty well received movie.
Sibner says August Underground extended set. We got an update. Steven had said it would be at least a year after all 3 sets came out, and I believe the 3rd one came out in December of last year. So it'll probably be, I don't know, at least another 6 months until we see that. Critical support to Evil Anko. Nice. Next up is our Discotex. We've got a lot of stuff to cover here. First is Space Sheriff Shader from 1984, remastered in HD with brand new subtitles. They've got some extras on here. As we're going through these, Chris, stop me if you've heard of it or have anything to say.
I'm a big Black Lives Matter fan, so I'm not going to be watching anything with space sheriffs. Just on principle.
All right, totally get it. Thanks for your support. I will let it know. Next one is Captain Harlock, Space Pirate. This is from 1978. All 42 episodes upscaled to 1080p. The same upscale that was released in Japan. We got English subtitles on this. This is coming in September. Next one is, I believe, pronounced Dalos or Dalos. This is from 1983 and 84. There's a brand new HD transfer. Looks great, supposedly. It's going to have English subs coming in September. And then next is Giant Gorg from 1984. Brand new HD remaster from the original films on this. All 26 episodes on the Blu-ray. This is going to be coming later this year, not in September, but pretty soon.
Mini Gorg was a favorite of mine, so I'm excited to finally get to see Giant Gorg.
The upgraded version. Next is Space Musketeer Bismarck from 1984 in HD for a Blu-ray release with all 51 episodes with English subs coming soon. Next, a Kamen Rider V3 release from 1973, all 52 episodes in HD with English subs. All kinds of extras coming on this one, and this will be released before the end of the year.
Actually,
I just saw Ronnie's comment.
I know. I'm cracking up on some of the comments. Discotex equals P-break is pretty funny too, but all space sheriffs are bastards had me cracking up. Isn't Kamen Rider like a Power Rangers type thing where they like use live footage and mix it with like weird puppets and stuff? I can't remember.
I believe it's called Tokusatu.
Okay.
I believe it is, or at least one or two of the, because Kamen Rider has had a whole bunch of shit done for it. There's been multiple series, films, and everything. So yeah, I think at least some of them are Tokusatsu. Where's the 90s Kamen Rider series? I think that is also coming soon. I'm not sure who has it though. All right. Next up is Chi the Brat, the second series. This one's going to be 39 episodes on SD Blu-ray in Japanese with English subs. They've got some extras on this coming later this year. Now, I got a bunch of questions because Discotex does this a lot. They'll release SD episodes of TV shows on Blu-ray, and somebody asked why. There's a handful of reasons. One, usually the previous release was out of print, so if they can get it in print, that's a good thing. Two, Blu-ray is more scratch resistant than DVDs, so it's safer for you to have it on home video. 3, you can fit more on a disc. So technically, if this whole series would have been, I don't know, 5 discs on DVD, it's possible it could be sometimes only 1, maybe 2 discs on Blu-ray. And if that's the case, it's actually cheaper to produce. So they could put this out, and it could be cheaper than a DVD set. So yeah, there's lots of reasons, but the biggest thing, most of these that they're putting out have been out of print, and there's no reason not to get them back in print. Eric says any live action special effects shows or movies are referred to as tokusatsu by the Japanese. So
Okay.
I guess I kind of messed that up.
Thank you, Eric. This picture gives me a headache. I can't imagine watching this show.
I get that. I'm glad it says artwork not final, because I would not want to look at that like that either.
But just the energy in that image makes me. This is a version of hell for me watching Chi the Brat second TV series. This is actually like a torture device for me.
I get that. Reggie wants to know, so why are most series released on DVD now? I believe the answer to that is because most of them simply don't have proper HD masters, sadly. And SD is the best they can do. They should just put SD on Blu-ray, but I don't think that's done by most companies. Discotex is really the only one that does it quite often. All right, next one. GTO, Great Teacher Onizuka. This is from 99 and 2000, coming on Blu-ray in September. All 43 episodes in SD on Blu-ray, in Japanese with English subs. They've got some bonus features on this as well, so it's not just bare bones. Lupin the Third Italian game, which is almost all of the Lupin the Third stuff that they have put out, finally coming to Blu-ray. This is coming in September. They are going to have some extras. And yeah,
I've heard of this one.
Yeah, this one has it's kind of the same as Kamen Rider. This one's been everywhere.
Okay, that makes sense.
Next one is Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha Strikers. That's a mouthful of a title. All 26 episodes on Blu-ray. First ever home video release in North America. This will have English subs with the Japanese audio, with some extras coming later this year.
Just a fair warning, buying this puts you on a watch list.
Immediately, yes.
Look at how young they look. Whatever. I won't get into my anime take, but yeah, this is a these are not interesting so far.
I love Sibner's joke that can't believe we're getting GTO before GTA 6. Next title is Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. This is coming soon on Blu-ray. Native HD for the first time on Blu-ray in North America, in Japanese with English subs, and also dubbed in English, featuring the cast of the games. Next is Kite Integral version, coming in September on Blu-ray. This is based on earlier Media Blasters restorations that they had released, but these are improved. There was missing shots that have now been restored. Framing mistakes were fixed. Original titles have been rendered again. A thorough restoration, here we go, of the adults-only uncut version and the U.S. general release version, as well as an international cut, never before released in the U.S. 3 versions, all on one disc. All bonus features will be here as well, plus an all-new dock.
Sibner. Yeah, this sounds like it. He said this will get you on the watch list.
So much. Next one, Humanoid Monster BEM from 2006 is coming later this year. All 26 episodes in Japanese with English subs. Extras, some nifty TV ads. All right. Next is Groiger X from 1976 and 77. I love the way they wrote this copy. From Knack Productions, Astro Ganger, Chargeman Ken. Yeah, that's right. Those guys. I don't know what that means. I'm not in on the in-joke on that one.
Not to be confused with Astro Gangbang, which will also get you on a watch list.
Oh, man. Yes. All 36 episodes on SD Blu-ray in Japanese with English subs. Next is Party 7. This one's live action.
Questionable anime body pillows.
This one is directed by Katsuhito Ishii. and this is from 2000. This will have alternate ending, director interview, making of, storyboards, and all kinds of extra stuff. I believe this is coming as part of the Neon Nights line that Discotex has done. So yeah, that's a good thing. This is probably really good, actually. Next one is Dororo from 2007. This one is going to be for the first time on Blu-ray North America with some extras coming soon. This one sounds great. RoboGisha from 2009. This one is from the team behind Machine Girl and Tokyo Gore Police. That'll be something that gets people excited. In Japanese with English subs, as well as the Funimation dubbed version. And
yeah, this is the best one on here so far. Wait, what is Tokyo? Wait, Tokyo Gore Police. There's a connection we have to that. Who's that director? It's not an animated film, right?
No, it is a very bloody movie.
Yeah, Nishimura. Yeah, what's the... Sorry, this is not captivating TV, but there's one that he did that... Oh, Anatomia Extinction. Yeah, he did the... He's the first release from Era 4444. That's why the name's so familiar. Yeah.
And this one says exactly what it sounds like. A geisha is transformed into killer cyborgs.
Sold. Yeah, this guy rules.
Yep. Next one is Electric Dragon 80,000 volts. This was released from Third Window in the UK, so coming in the US on Blu-ray. They say this will be a kitchen sink disc. Tons of stuff on here. Interviews, stage greetings, concept art, and more. And yeah, this one's supposed to be great. Did you watch this one from Third Window?
No, I saw this the year it came out or something. Like I saw this one.
Wow.
Yeah, this one came it was like a... Let me make sure that I'm not thinking of the wrong one. This is like a 2001-ish type thing.
2001,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw this, I think in theaters even. This movie's great. Super fun.
Amazing. That's fantastic. Silent Mandible just got a Region B of that. Nice. Next one is Keiko Common the Trilogy, or Kiko Common the Trilogy. This one says, do you like naked ladies? Because here's a superhero trilogy with a lot of them. Direct-to-video features from the early 90s on home video for the first time ever in North America on SD Blu-ray coming later this year.
Sweet.
I mean, that's an easy way to sell a lot of people.
I like how they just get right to the point.
Yep. Next one from Discotex is Android Kikator. This is all 43 episodes in HD in Japanese with English subs. They've got some extras on here, and this is coming later this year. There's a whole lot of Discotex announcements. Next one, this one's coming soon. Special Rescue Police Wind Spectre from 1990-1991. All 49 episodes on SD Blu-ray in Japanese with English subs. But maybe the biggest news...
Yeah, here we go.
MXC, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. The series is coming on SD Blu-ray. Volume 1 will be coming this year, comprising the first 3 seasons. Volume 2 will follow later. They will have extras that will be determined later. There are, I believe they announced in their Zoom little stream that they did, that there are either 4 or 5 episodes that they could not clear the rights to, and everything else is here. So I am so great. I'm so glad that this is coming out. This is a big deal. Some of the DVDs have been out of print for quite some time.
Yeah.
This alone will be cheaper than... Yeah, why do we have a Daffy Duck? It's a funny GIF happening on the screen, and I can't hide it. Movies with Brandon is very excited about this, clearly. Yeah, this is like... Both volumes together will be cheaper than one of the seasons DVD is going for right now. So this is a huge deal. Stoked about this. I'm sure most people have seen 43 episodes of this without even realizing, and I cannot wait to watch them again.
Yeah, it's a little bummer they didn't put Takeshi's Castle on as like a bonus feature or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, hell yeah, like there'll be a Discotex title in my home. I didn't expect to be saying that.
I've got a few. They do good work.
Oh, I'm sure.
That is it for Discotex. Now we're back to the regular stuff. November 26th, Warner Archive just wanted to come out ahead of it, I guess, and get people hyped and understanding. Looney Tunes Collector's Choice Volume 4 is coming November 26th, we will get a proper announcement with the list of shorts and all that are going to be on it. I'm just so glad that this is coming. This is, this has been a great series that they've done. I think that they've been great. I just wish they, I don't know, could do all of them. It would be nice. I feel like they've jumped around a little bit, but I'm glad this is coming.
Well, there's a standard now for 49 disc sets, excuse me, that are comprehensive. No, they don't even have to be comprehensive.
Not even a little bit.
Hopefully they do put out everything. I mean, you would think that they would do like 100 copies of just like the Looney Tunes show, like cartoons, right?
Yep.
Honestly, I would buy it. I mean, I don't even know if it's $500. I don't care. Like, I would own it just to have it. I mean, those are like, I grew up on these.
I agree fully. It absolutely would be worth it. Kevin from Alls Major says, that's it for Discotex. What a light slate. The funny thing is, I picked and chose what to post. There was still like 8 or 9 other announcements from them that I didn't post. All right, keeping this going. Here's a little movie that most people maybe have never heard of. October 21st, BFI in the UK is releasing a 4K and Blu-ray release of Seven Samurai. Newly restored by Toho in 4K. This is coming in a Blu-ray, 4K presentation in Dolby Vision. You got a new audio commentary by Adrian Martin on this. There's a whole lot of archival extras on this. We've got a double-sided poster, set of 4 postcards, updated and improved English subs, and some other extras coming as well. Chris, how do you feel about Seven Samurai?
This is one of those Evil Dead type titles where I'm tempted to own every version of it that comes out.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't even care that it's cliche. Yeah, no, Kev, don't go into this without seeing the first 6. It'll be very confusing.
I mean, they get a little derivative around 4 Samurai, but 7 Samurai is pretty good.
When it starts off with 1, honestly, it's a little boring, but
I get it. I will say, of course, we've gotten lots of questions this week on, is there a US version coming? Undoubtedly, Criterion is releasing this on UHD eventually. When? That could be November this year. It could be November of 2029. However, I would be willing to bet half of my collection that Criterion is going to release Seven Samurai in 4K in the US.
How many Criterion movies are in your collection?
Probably 225-ish, something like that.
Someone should take that bet just on the chance they don't. That's a good bet.
That's an easy bet, yeah.
The third samurai is the one without a samurai. It's it's a cult favorite.
Paul, I still haven't seen American History X. Need to see the first 9. Oh god, I'm crying. That was really good.
That's good. I have PTSD because we just had to watch all of the Fast and Furious movies for the podcast for They Live Back Home. By the time we got to Fast X, I was very much over that series. Stan, I've been going back and forth on this point ever since I saw it. It's pretty on point with like the emotions of the movie. But for me, like, I just can't, like, that classic image of like the 6 dots and the triangle at the bottom. I don't know. Like, for me, that's the movie. I mean, I'm not trying to argue with you. This is a great image, but I was just processing. I was thinking about this a couple days ago when I saw this.
All right, moving right along. Wow, from Seven Samurai to Tinto Brass. October 22nd, Cult Epics is releasing a 4K and Blu-ray release of Cheeky from 2000. On this, you have 2 options for site-exclusive slipcovers that are supposedly selling pretty well. You've got the pink, and then you've got the blue that is not censored and is just pure butt, as you come to expect from a Tinto Brass title. On this, we're going to have a new audio commentary by Eugenio Ercolani and Nathaniel Thompson. You've got a bunch of interviews. You've got a bunch of archival information. This is going to be a solid release. If you go on the Cult Epic site, which is not a great website, by the way. We can talk about that for sure. But if you go on there, you can get this exclusive release they're doing with postcards and everything. I just want to say, Cold Epics needs to get their stuff together. If you go on their site and you click on a title, it takes you to a PayPal checkout screen. There's no give me more information. There's no shopping cart function. Click, buy. That's it. That's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Shopify is expensive, but there has to be a middle ground.
Right.
Questions 1. This is the guy. There actually is a motif between Seven Samurai and Shiki. There's a ton of male Japanese ass in Seven Samurai.
Ain't that the truth?
So it's not that much of a stretch, actually. Tinto Brass could have made Seven Samurai.
Do we need to use the word stretch while discussing this?
You what?
I said, do we need to use the word stretch while discussing this? Oh, man. All right. Going to the next one. Speaking of, you just brought this up.
You.
Amazing. September 10th, Mill Creek is releasing Icons Unearthed Fast and Furious. This is supposedly a really great documentary series. Did I miss a comment?
No. I was just being sarcastic to your comment.
Oh, you're excited.
I have so much PTSD around anything related to the Fast and Furious franchise.
I'll pick you up a copy of this. This one, they were able to get Tyrese, T.I., and Lucas Black back on to discuss the series. Not everybody's involved, but yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good documentary series. I imagine we probably have 2 or 3 more of these coming.
Wait,
they've already done The Simpsons and a handful of others. I don't think these are Tubi level docs, but I don't know. Maybe they are.
Hold on. They got Tyrese makes sense. T.I.?
Isn't he only in one of them?
Yeah, and do y'all know who Lucas Black is? He's the dude from Tokyo Drift who makes like a brief appearance in maybe like 9 and maybe 10,
okay.
8 and 9. But like, that's who they got?
Yeah. And it's over 5 hours of interviews.
From those 3.
That's what they list.
Oh,
and it's a 6-part documentary.
That's great.
I don't know. That's a lot. Next up, Ultraman Blazer series and movie from 2023 and 24 is coming from Mill Creek on October 29th. You can pre-order this now. The Ultraman stuff has been very well taken care of by Mill Creek. I bet this is going to look great. This is one of those things that Mill Creek gets access to really high level scans and everything for. They did the same with the Andy Sedaris titles. Everything else, it's not great, sure, that Mill Creek puts out. But I hope this looks pretty good.
Yeah, I know Ultraman has a lot of fans.
This is a top-notch joke, Sibner. They interviewed T.I. a lot for this. His segment is called TMI. That's very funny. Let's see what is next. Longlegs is coming to a 4K steelbook near you if you're in the UK from Black Bear. This is a distributor in the UK, and we don't know about extras yet. You can get this on Amazon UK. You can get it from HMV. Diabolic and Orbit still had some left today, but Diabolic has warned a couple times that they've sold out of their fulfillment, and somehow they were able to get a little bit more. So hopefully, if you're after this, you get it. Now, I've had some people ask this week, is this going to be coming to Steelbook in the U.S.? And I have to say, if I'm a betting man, I would say this is a no. Neon has not done any Steelbooks in the U.S. Previously, they had done one with Decal, but I believe that was before they had really started working together with Decal. So my bet is it would not be coming to Steelbook in the U.S. If you really want the Steelbook, there's multiple multiple retailers in the U.S. that are selling it. So now's the time. If you really want it, it's a little pricey. It's like $46, but now is the time to pick it up if you want it.
Who's this is like somebody's son or a new director. Who is this again?
This is Anthony Perkins' son,
yeah,
Osgood
yeah.
Perkins.
That's right.
And he's done, I think this is his 3rd or 4th feature, and so far, they're all pretty damn great.
Um,
His breakout feature was Blackcoat's daughter, with who you mentioned earlier, accidentally, Emma Roberts.
just tying it all back together. Should I see this or Zodiac first?
Ooh, Zodiac for sure.
Okay.
Zodiac is a much better movie than this.
Ooh, much better.
Much better by a long shot.
Take that, Osgood.
The Werkmeister Harmonies by Bellatar. This is coming on a standalone 4K release in the UK from Curzon on October 14th. This is yet another situation where they're putting out a film on 4K and then releasing a box set that only has that same film on Blu-ray. They are also doing Bellatar, a Curzon collection on that same day. Chris, tell the class how you feel about Curzon.
Well, it won't be an issue here because they put subtitles on movies that are not filmed in English, so it won't be an issue here. I'm so confused by Curzon because they seem to have people that like the kind of movies that I like, and this is a great example. Like, I'll buy this box set and I'll watch these movies again. But they reuse what's it called, scans, and they just go cheap on the actual transfers and like the quality of the film in the box sets, but they put all their money onto artwork, and the special features are all over the place. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're empty. It's just so scattershot. It's like there's no quality control or vision.
Right. And then they release a Ruben Östlund set, and it has a custom card game in it. Like, you go through that much care, but yet on a really great Lars von Trier set, you can't put English subtitles on English films.
Drove me crazy. But like, honestly, Werkmeister Harmonies is a beautiful, like, for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's just like a meditative, slow, very beautifully shot film. I loved it. I got like in a trance watching it. It's very good.
Excuse me. Dying.
You choked up. That's the effect it has on people. If you need to take a break, I can talk about this movie for a minute. So the basic premise is, as if Ryan dies, I don't have the ability to switch. So we're going to be talking about Werkmeister Harmonies for the next 3 hours. But or we'll just watch it together. But it's the whole movie is like a metaphor. And so you're watching this town, and like a circus come into the town, and the town react to the circus, and they bring an actual whale into this town. But while the circus is in here, the town is kind of falling apart, and there's not an invasion, but there's an army that kind of comes in and disrupts the town. And so it's like layer on layer of metaphor, but it's a beautiful movie. It's very, very good.
I inhaled a cough drop. I'm sorry. I came home from LA pretty sick, and I'm mostly over it, but trying to be okay.
Oh, you were actually choking. I thought it was just like went down the wrong pipe or something.
No, inhaled a cough drop, and it messed me up. This one, for some reason, I feel like a lot of people forgot or didn't realize Criterion released this earlier this year in April. Yeah. It also came out on 4K here, but for the longest time, this was very hard to see in Region A. This is a title that was not able to be gotten easily. This is something that I had somebody today commenting, when is this ever going to come out in Region A or Region 3? And I just say, hold on, here, let me get you a link. So now that you're looking at it, this is also out in the US if you're after it still.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And someone was sorry, can I scroll down? Eric, you were talking about the soundtrack. It is a beautiful soundtrack too. Yeah, that's a good call out.
Let's see. KB's trying to claim my collection. I already bet half the collection, so good luck. Eric says this is one of the greatest openings of all time, and yeah, this is one fans of slow cinema are going to be after. Fans of Bellatar, this is pretty much everything that we could have wanted in a great box set. Of course, Eric is pointing out, wish that had Tar's TV version of Macbeth, the hour-long film consist of only 2 shots. That's wild. All right, so that is Curzon. Next up, we have not talked about this yet because we didn't get any details, and I'm not like all those other channels that wants to get all these clickbait things. So now it's time to talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is getting a 4K Steelbook and standard release from Warner Brothers in the US, coming in the UK, going to be everywhere. But this is going to have both versions on this. This is going to have the uncut and the theatrical version. From what I remember, the uncut is just a couple slightly extended scenes, a little bit more gore, classic Wes Craven stuff. How do you feel about the art on this, Chris?
Not a huge fan, but I imagine there's going to be some kind of box set coming out at some point, right?
I mean, there's 2 thoughts on this. Obviously, this is I don't know. It's expensive, and this is a long time coming. There's 7 films if they want to do just the core set. Technically, you could do 8, I guess. But the hard part is Warner Brothers just sent out a survey asking people which of these titles would you love to see on 4K, and one of the options was Nightmare on Elm Street 1 through 7, and it was listed as 1 through 7. So, will there be a box set? I mean, my gut says yes, because this is such an exploited title. But, I mean, the way the world is, and Warner Brothers just seemingly doesn't care.
But didn't Warner Brothers do those, like that Harry Potter set where it was like padded and you slide in the slipcases, or the steel books, I mean?
Yes, they did.
And that's like their thing, right? Is like the big kind of chunky steelbook box set. I wouldn't mind one of those. They don't. Is it a rights issue? Do they not have all the movies?
They have all 7 of them.
Yeah, great.
I don't understand why they wouldn't necessarily. It for all we know, it could be Elements. But if they're asking people if they would like it, I imagine they think they can do it.
Yeah. I still have that old. It was probably Warner Brothers that put it out. That old DVD set. There was like the snap case ones that all came in the same. So that's the only way I can watch those movies right now. So I don't know that I'll get this, though. I'll probably wait a year or 2 and see what they do for like a set.
This one, I know Simner saying I broke those features to you a month ago. This wasn't just about special features. We just found out that it's coming out on October 1st. We found out that this is going to be coming widely. It's not something that's going to be exclusive anywhere. We finally got the art in HD rather than some blurry leak from some retailer site. So there was a lot that goes into it. There will be some features on this. There's alternate takes, and they say learn filmmaking secrets behind the nightmare by jumping to video highlights while watching the movie. 2 commentaries on this. Both of them are old archival commentaries. Alternate endings, 3 featurettes. As far as I can tell, nothing really new, but it looks like the best that they can do for this without hiring people for new special features.
Right.
I'm not against the art. From what I remember, I believe there's something about Robert Englund's likeness that they can't show him on the cover art of some of these unless they use very specific art. I don't know why they don't just use that on the steelbook, but I don't know. It's not terrible. Could be worse.
The image I have in my head for this whole series, fair or not, is them getting sucked into a bed and like the blood squirting out of the bed. Like That's kind of like in my head. That's like the image for the whole series.
And that was Johnny Depp, of course.
The one and the only.
Next is the UK version of that One and the Same, and it looks like they're using the same steelbook there. They've got a book, since this is a collector's edition, because the UK gets so much beefier sets than we get in the US. You've got some alt posters, and this one looks like a pretty decent set if you really want to go all out, if this is one of your favorites. I'm very curious to see what they have on here for Never Sleep Again. I kind of doubt it will be the entire documentary, since it's, I don't even remember, 5 hours long or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks like a good set if this is one of your favorites.
I do. I have, like, this is one of those what's the word? Nostalgic movies for me. Like, I saw this. This is one of the ones I saw way too young. I was probably, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7 when I saw it, and it didn't really scar me. Like, I was kind of laughing at it. It's kind of one of the ways I found out my brain was broken.
Yeah,
I love it though.
I think I saw this. I think this is the second one that I consciously watched as a horror movie, and I think it was like 9 when I saw this. Fell in love, absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Barry is saying, will the 4K be a reliable transfer? Yes. I've seen the 4K remaster in the theater. KB is here, and he saw it with me, and he said, I like the art of the damn 4K transfer, which I've now seen twice. It looks great. There's no reason to worry about this one. It's a stupendous transfer. It looks amazing. Oh, there we go. ZPAM says it's not the 4+ hour Never Sleep Again doc. It's a 50-minute doc from 2006. Well, Never Sleep Again is worth it. Everybody should seek that out. The other big news of the week, Godzilla -1 getting official US releases from Toho on top of that big Japanese box set. Unfortunately, we don't really have details on this. We know when it's coming out. We know what it looks like. We don't know if this will have bonus features, but there's 3 discs here, so I imagine it will. However, will those be subtitled in English? Who knows? This is also everywhere, like, very expensive.
Yeah.
It's way more expensive than you would expect for a 4K Steelbook. I hope people check this out, but I imagine this is going to be the next overexploited title for physical media. There is a 4K Steelbook version coming of this. There's a standard 4K coming of this. There's a Blu-ray coming of this. There's a lot. I've had a lot of questions, people asking, will it have the English dub? It will not. That English dub that was made by Netflix, and that will never be released. That's not attached to Godzilla -1. Netflix created it. Will not be a part of the discs.
Plan 9 wants to know if Godzilla has lip filler. I haven't seen this movie yet to confirm.
I don't think that was about Godzilla.
Just kidding.
I hope it was. Is there lip filler on one of these? I don't know. Yeah, Godzilla's getting a lot. Next up, we have Troma releasing Toxic Crusaders, the animated series from 1991, coming on Blu-ray with all new remasters on December 10th. Now, I know it's Troma. Chris and I both love Troma. We both have a history with Troma. We both have watched many of these titles and have both been very disappointed in Troma Blu-rays in the past. However, some of the pictures from the shots from this look mind-blowing. I really think they actually went back to the original and made this look incredible. I'm kind of very excited to get this. What do you think of Toxic Crusaders?
It's in this very similar conversation for me with the Clerks the animated series. They're just like nostalgic, sweet cartoons that I can put on and like watch anytime, and I like them. And this series is just, I don't know. Lloyd Kaufman is amazing what he was able to do with one character. And it's just like I don't know. I love the man.
One character with a mask and a mop. What's funny, Kev's all excited that we mentioned the Clerks animated series. I almost bought the Clerks animated series last week in LA, and now I regret it. I probably should have.
The old DVD?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Well, I know this is not relevant to this, but you know, if you ordered from View Askew website back in like early 2000s, Kevin Smith would sign every one. Yep. So that's one of the ones that he signed for me.
Nice.
But yeah, Toxic Crusaders, the series is awesome. I would say, I mean, I'm not going to sell it. You either kind of want to see that or you don't, but I love it.
If you're really into Toxic Crusaders, out of nowhere, Fright Rags just launched a Toxic Crusaders line this week. I linked that as well if you want to check it out. They're actually pretty good designs. I'm kind of surprised. But yeah, if you're into it, check it out. This one is weird. So October 8th, Kino is re-releasing Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. But what's crazy, this is the same disc that was the second Blu-ray disc from their 4K release from last year. So they're basically just putting out a standalone Blu-ray, which I thought they already had before, but maybe it just wasn't the remastered version. So they wanted that one out for people that just wanted it on Blue and not 4K. I imagine that's the reason.
We'll talk about this more in a minute, but do you think there's some market research out there that shows that if people see 4K, they're not going to buy it, even if it says 4K plus Blu-ray or something like that?
I imagine there is market research that says that, but also market research that shows if it doesn't say 4K, they're not buying it. So
No, for sure.
it definitely
Here's,
goes both ways.
here's an interesting one we're going to be talking about later that they chose not to put 4K in, and I'm just interested to see if this is a trend. But anyways,
All right. Next one, just an update from Scarecrow Video. It's been about 6 weeks since they made their big announcement about their fiscal situation, and we had Joel on the channel with Kate, and they just wanted to update everybody. And they said, as of writing this, which was about 10 days ago or so, they had raised almost $500,000, which is about a quarter of what they were after. They wanted 1.8 million total, and they've got a lot, and they've got still quite a bit of time. But they definitely want to show people that there's still ways that you can support. So remember, recommend any angel donors that you know to Scarecrow. You can alert any foundations or granting organizations that might be a good fit for them. If you're a nonprofit professional or you know somebody Seattle-based that could help, they will happily take advice from them. There's a member survey that's coming out, and I think it's either out or about to come out. And you can also rent by mail, support Scarecrow, rent by mail. Erica, who was in the chat earlier that we were talking about, highlights Scarecrow almost as much as me. There was something for the book that Erica needed that the only place that she could find it was from Scarecrow. So there are definitely titles that if you absolutely want it, Scarecrow is going to be the last stop. But also just spread the word. Make sure that people understand that it's somebody that needs help. And they can donate, and the website for that is listed here. It's the scarecrowvideo.org/SOS.
yeah, that we, living in Austin, we've seen one like beloved video chain go under. It was called I Love Video, and so yeah, it sucks. I mean, it sucks. Like it impacts the whole community. So
It does.
I certainly gave, and I hope other people do.
Another update, this one from Treasured Films in the UK. They'd like to thank everybody, and they've been navigating through a transitional period while they changed their wholesaler. They wanted to say that The Island is at the printers, while You Might Be the Killer is close behind. Dawn of the Mummy is still coming through the QC process so that they can get that out properly for everybody. And then a big update, they wanted to say that you've heard it here first. We have our first North American title on the way, and you can thank the BBFC for that. They will leave it there for now. Now, doing some digging, it sounds like it is this ultra gory, made for TV or shot on video Italian flick that was just denied by the BBFC recently. Not a guarantee, but it looks like it could be that. So we shall see pretty soon.
I feel silly saying this, but I've never heard of Treasured Films.
What? I mean, they've only released, I think, 3 titles so far that have actually come out. So I get that.
No, but I mean, like, given our topic tonight. Oh, I've seen this Mausoleum release. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Treasured Films. So they're the UK based?
They are UK based. However, if you're in the US, TerrorVision is helping sell their titles. You can go over to terror-vision.com and pick up TerrorVision and Treasured Films titles all in one fell swoop.
Dang, they're so cheap. They're £7 on their website.
They are very cheap for the standards, yes.
That's great. Yeah, go to TerrorVision. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, go to TerrorVision.
No, you're absolutely right. Obviously, the shipping will be the kicker there if you're in the US. So check out Treasured Films. Check out TerrorVision. Good stuff all around. Hey, Punk Vacation, a Vinegar Syndrome podcast. We talked about this a little bit earlier. What else can people look forward to hearing, throughout the month?
Yeah. So I have to shout out, if you could possibly pull up the artwork for one more second. There is somebody who's a listener. I don't think he would be in the room tonight, but his name is Adam Danbury, and he's on Instagram just at Adam Danbury. and he's just like a professional graphics designer. He does like ads for soaps and shampoos and stuff, and just offered to do this in his free time. And we went back and forth a few times, and I'm in love with this artwork. So I just wanted to call out Adam and say thank you. I think he nailed it. I asked him for something that kind of felt like Andy Warhol, and obviously please include Rudy Ray Moore if you can.
It's incredible.
One of my favorite things about two of my favorite things about Vinegar Syndrome, and I think he nailed it. So but yeah, so anyways, thank you, Adam. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, Adam Danbury on Instagram. Nothing like this on his Insta, but so I really want to have it be organized, because I think the films and the content is crazy enough. So I want people to have like consistent expectations of what they're going to get. Then the episodes can get crazy, but the format is consistent. So the day, or like the day of or the day after the announcements, I'm going to be getting on with a Vinegar Syndrome employee, and we're going to talk about the announcements. So that's why Curtis was on in August. We recorded that August 1st. I edited it quickly, and it was released August 2nd. We're going to try to do it that way. So it's like pretty quick, and you get that release. If anybody from Vinegar Syndrome is on tonight, I don't mean this as a slight. I was just surprised. They refused to go even a day early. It's just, I guess it's their culture. They just absolutely won't go on the 31st, just to kind of make things easier, but that's fine. So record on the 1st or 2nd based on availability, and then try to quickly edit it and get it out. And then, I'm a subscriber, so I get the movies in around the 24th, 25th of each month. So these movies that I got in July 24th, I've been watching. And then as I go through all the Vinegar Syndrome mainline stuff and all the sub labels like VSL, VSP, VSU, VSA, VSL, VSP, VSU, Degasser, Cinematograph, and Distribpix. I think I got them all. But I'll try to go through all those for sure, and then I'll get as many of the OCN titles as I can in after that, and just then around the 15th of the month, whatever that Friday is, it'll be sometimes the 13th or 12th or 15th, but I'm going to try to get it around the 15th. I'll either do it myself, or I'll have if any of y'all have like KB, I know I see is in here, whoever else has YouTube shows, if anybody wants to just come talk Vinegar Syndrome, that one's a little bit more open. I might have Vinegar Syndrome folks on that as well, as I can get them. Well, yeah, I guess I don't mind saying this. So Liberty is going to be on the one in September, in the middle of the month. Then we'll just talk about the July releases, and then so that'll be the core. The first is like the announcements. The 15th is the ones from the previous month, really kind of going through them and talking about them. I'm going to be honest. If I don't like it, I'm going to say it, even if someone from, I mean, I just, I want to try to be an honest place to go through and say my opinion at least. And then I'm going to try to do a back catalog section as well, where we highlight some films that need to get some love. So
I am just like Brendan, super stoked for this. Again, the first episode was great. Curtis, because he literally sees every film far too many times, because it goes through him. He knows everything, and he was able to speak on everything super competently. And you're passionate about it. It's great. It's the perfect show for anybody that loves VS. Please go subscribe.
Thank you for the limelight.
Of course. Severin had got into some hot water last week based on their release of Opera. Somebody went and posted these really awful cell phone pictures on the Blu-ray.com forums, and based on that, the world caught on fire and everybody started to riot. Severin is working on a replacement disc. The long story short, it looks like the HDR color space did not get checked properly when they were authoring the disc, and they are re-authoring a brand new disc, and then they are going to be sending those replacements. It is going to come to you. You don't need to contact customer service. If you bought it, you will be getting one no matter what. They're doing the right thing. This is something that should be applauded. They found the mistake. They found the error. They fixed it quickly. You're getting a replacement for free. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Severin is another one of these ones to me, kind of like Vinegar Syndrome, that um, I just feel like they just seem to have money. I don't know if they have a cash infusion, and I don't know, or maybe they're just selling well, but like they're getting bigger titles. And it's the right people to be getting this bigger titles, right? Like they're passionate about the work. So I mean, this kind of stuff is going to happen, but their response is better than Arrow's.
I can't argue with that. Yeah, Arrows was god awful. Justin Liberty was just telling me that he still hasn't got his replacement for the Coffin Joe set.
No, I haven't got mine yet either.
Oh, jeez. Yikes, that's not good. Next up, 101 Films in the UK is releasing The Sword and the Sorcerer on October 7th. This is probably the exact same 4K disc that was released by Scream Factory. There is going to be a bunch of extras on this. I believe they are all the same from the Scream Factory release. And then you've got the poster and the art cards and all that fun stuff, plus a booklet. This looks like a really solid release. If you are a big fan of this movie, I would check it out. If you're in the US, you might want the Scream Factory one. In the UK, this looks like a great choice.
Yeah. I feel like 101 is somebody that needs, I hope that, please, if someone from 101 is, I don't mean this in an offensive way, but I feel like they need an adult in the room. Like the work they do is so good, but it's like they don't release titles consistently and they're kind of all over the place. I don't know if they have I don't know. Like I like the company a lot, but I just can't seem to get a hold of like keeping track of what they're putting out or what's their vibe, or I don't know. But I love them. I mean, I'll probably get this one because I didn't get the Scream Factory one.
101 has got some huge titles over the last year.
Yeah.
I do got to be honest, just like Chris just said, if something's not right, I will say it. 101 has botched too many releases for me to trust, I think, for a while.
Okay.
They did the Johnny Mnemonic release that looked worse than the DVD. They've got aspect ratio and framing issues on another release that just happened about 2 months ago. They've had some other their 4Ks are not encoded super well either, but I don't know. I still got faith. They put out a handful of great titles that I love, and 101 Films. I'd love to see them come back. Fear City, that's the title I was trying to think of. Next, Shout Studios has just launched their Shout Select ticket savings sale. This is going on until August 15th at midnight Pacific. And this is one of those Shout sales that's actually a sale. Like, there are great titles here that are less than $10. If you are missing Shout Select titles, go check out the sale. This is probably some of the best prices that you're going to see on most of these titles.
Okay.
Some of them are on sale for the first time ever. I listed some of those in the post here. It is worth checking out. I don't know. I wish they priced all of their sales like this sale.
The Wizard is something that everybody should own, I think. I'm trying to think of the other.
They did the 4K release of Clue. They've done the Abbott and Costello box set.
Oh yeah, but this is only the Shout Select, right? Was that a Shout Select?
It was, yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I own a handful of stuff from them. They're trying to get. That's the one that has like the kind of like Criterion or style with the spines, right?
I mean, it's got a number. That's about it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Glengarry again, Ross. Oh, the Sonny Chiba one. That's a good one. And Jackie Chan one. Those are the ones I have from them.
They've done a lot of great sales. Clue is $25 when it was $20 last time. Yeah, so don't buy Clue 4K yet. Jeez. Although in that last sale, it sold out in like an hour. So
it's a good movie.
Here is another big deal. Grindhouse Releasing finally put up for sale Hollywood 90028 from 1973. This is one that they announced, I don't even know, 4 years ago, something like that they've been working on it. And this is finally here. It is a pre-order, so it's not shipping right now. It will be shipping in October. Mm-hmm. But as usual, Grindhouse Releasing absolutely overloads their discs. Yeah. So this has so much on it. It's a 4K restoration. It will not be released on UHD, so you don't need to worry about that. There's in-depth interviews with Christopher Augustine from the film, Jeanette Dilger, Gail Davis, the editor, audio commentaries on this. There's alternate scenes from the original X-rated version, an experimental 16mm short film by the director Christina Hornisher, outtakes, still galleries, liner notes, a bonus CD with the original soundtrack album, and other surprises. Grindhouse still does like Easter eggs on all their discs. This is probably going to be a really great disc if you're excited about this film.
What's the? God, I'm drawing a blank. I can't. Who's the guy that runs Grindhouse?
It is the guy that works with Sam Raimi. What is his
Yeah,
name?
yeah. Anyways, so has anybody have any of have you or any of the other podcasts ever spoken to him? No, he's elusive, right?
He's never available.
Yeah, he's
I've
one of the
tried.
big gets. He's harder to reach than Criterion almost, but
Well, at least he might say yes if you ever got in touch with him. Criterion will not.
nope.
All right. Next up, this was just announced today. Inside Out 2 will be getting a 4K release, but only if you buy this steelbook. It will not be getting a standalone 4K release. This is coming out on September 10th, so pretty quickly. Considering this was such a huge hit for Pixar, that's kind of fast for them. This will also have a standard Blu-ray and a DVD. There's no word on if this will be a Walmart exclusive steelbook. However, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a wide release. I think the last one was called The Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That one was a Disney title or Fox title, and it was released widely. So hopefully this is out there and available for everybody. The Walmart exclusive stuff kind of sucks. I do think the steelbook looks nice, and I love this movie, so I do hope to get this on 4K.
How was it compared to the first Inside Out?
I think it's just a tiny notch below, but it's almost more impressive from a psychological standpoint because there's more complex emotions displayed, and they do a really great job of explaining them in a way that, like, for my kids, they're the perfect age to watch this and understand and use that as a visual reference.
That's sweet.
And we've already referred to it in talking with our kids, so
That's sweet.
Love it. Brendan says, does Criterion think they're too good for Ryan? How lame. Criterion will not let any of their employees interview for anything.
Nope.
It's wild. Next up is Twilight of the Warriors Walled In. This is starting to be in theaters tomorrow, but you can already pre-order this on 4K and Blu-ray, releasing on November 19th from Wellgo USA. This is supposedly really great. Sammo Hung is in this, and I'm excited to see this one. This one is right up my alley for sure.
Have you seen the trailer for this?
I have, and Sammo looks wild.
This trailer is amazing.
I'm very eager to see this movie.
I can't wait. This will be a day one. If it's in the theaters, I'll get a babysitter if I have to. Like, I'll go. This will be one of the 3 that I watch this year if it comes to Austin. I hope it does.
It has to. I mean, Austin gets, I would say most probably, right?
I hope so. Yeah. Well, there's a good chance. The trailer just like blew me away. It just like,
right.
I don't know. I want 3 hours of that.
I get it. Some left here, Kinds of Kindness. This is coming out on Blu-ray and DVD on October 8th. This is a Fox Searchlight title, so this will not be coming to UHD. I know a lot of people are pissed off about that. We got a couple deleted scenes in this, and then some featurettes, behind the scenes type of stuff coming on this one. This is Emma Stone. This is the Yorgos Lanthimos title. Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Willem Dafoe, Margaret Qualley, Hong Chow, Hunter Schafer, lots of big names, and this is supposed to be great.
Yeah, I can't. I think I want to go backwards and see. I've never seen any Yorgos film except for Poor Things. So
wow.
Yeah.
I feel like you would that should almost be the next They Live by Film director to go through. That'd be a really interesting one.
It was pitched.
Huh. All right. Yeah, this looks like a good release. I'll definitely be getting this one. Old Gold Media in the UK is releasing Widows, the complete series. This is coming on September 9th. I believe this is a British show that I've never seen, never heard of. Also includes the sequel series, She's Out. It's a gritty crime series with strong female lead characters. And I know when I see this cover art, I think gritty crime series.
British dames get down, man. They're gonna solve those crimes.
Wow. Sibner says, Kind of Kindness is my favorite of the year so far.
I think you said Widows.
Oh, Widows. Wasn't there a U.S. film released just a few years ago called Widows 2?
Ooh, I don't know. Yes, I'm sure there was.
I think it was Steve McQueen was the director or somebody like that, I think. Oh,
Yeah,
there you go. This is the basis for the Steve McQueen film. Great timing, Sivner.
Well, so Mafia Mama could run.
Oh, man. Oh, perfect. All right. Okay.
Yay!
Criterion today announced a 40 film box set coming on November 19th. This will be a 49 disc Blu-ray box set. If you want to see the full list of titles, it's up on the Criterion website. However, just a handful of titles so that you could get the idea of what they are. It's got 8.5. It's got Tokyo Story, all that jazz, Bicycle Thieves, Repo Men, Naked, Being There, Yee Yee, Night of the Hunter, Pickpocket, Do the Right Thing, those types of titles. Like, these are the ones that are picked the most in the Criterion Closet videos, supposedly. So, Chris, you very famously made a Reddit post about this today. How do you feel about this box set?
Look, I want to separate something. The movies in this box set are some of my favorite movies of all time. My banner on Letterboxd is 8.5. Like, I love Criterion. I love these movies a lot, and I'm a homer for them. I write a weekly, well, almost weekly series where I'm going through Criterion by spy number on Reddit, and I'm up to like 140. Like, right. I love Criterion. This is ridiculous. This is so dumb. And like, I know people love it, and it's fascinating reading the comments. When I made a stupid meme about it, just basically talking about how there's no theme that connects it. It's just like, here's 40 random movies that like we have in our collection that there are better releases of each one of these movies. Anybody that likes Criterion probably already owns them.
At least half of them.
Or yeah. Sure. At least some portion of them. And it's $640. MSRP is $800. So on sale, it's going to be $400 for 40 random movies. I just, what the hell were they thinking? Like, what is this?
I agree fully. What's the best way to say this? This is a box set that I imagine they don't think most people will purchase. I bet they plan on selling less than 2,000 copies of this, which for Criterion, that's terrible numbers. Absolutely terrible numbers. This absolutely is a perfect box set if you're brand new to Criterion, if you're brand new to physical media, if you're just getting into art house cinema. However, most of those people just getting into those things don't have $640 lying around to purchase this. What's crazy to me, this has 40 films in it. The Bergman box set has 39, so one less film. And this set cost more than twice what the Bergman set cost.
That's a good point.
Granted, the Bergman set is an insane value. I'm not taking that away. I'm not saying everything should be that cheap. However, this is pretty insane. I really hope this is not the only thing they're doing to celebrate their 40th anniversary, because I don't think I said that. This is to celebrate their 40th anniversary. I don't know. I like that they're doing something, but I feel like they could have done so much more. So, Chris, I'm going to take this off the screen for a moment. What would you, and a couple ideas maybe, what would you have rather Criterion done to celebrate their 40th anniversary than this massive freaking box set?
And I don't want to, I see some comments of people like, look, if you want to own this and you don't already own these movies, and like, you can wait till a sale and you get 40 movies for $10 a pop, like, sure. What I guess, right? Like, I get it. I just don't understand the business decision behind doing something like this. It's just, I don't like the hardcore Criterion fans are not gonna. They might get excited about it, but they're not gonna buy it. So it's just like, so who's it for? That's my main point.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great point too, Mandible. Okay, so what should I mean, the answer is Kurosawa, right? Like,
Yeah, it's the obvious.
like figure out Kurosawa and put it out. Or I mean, because they already did Fellini, they already did Bergman, and so finish it. Like the big directors, you could do Otsu, I guess. You could do 40 movies from Otsu, and still only cover like half of what he put out. But still, you could make some good progress on Otsu. Yeah, Godard, exactly. Godard, Kurosawa. Like I think that's what you do, right? Like this just, or you say like starting in some year, like we're gonna release the best movie in 40 years, or like something. But like this just doesn't make any sense. The logic behind it was just people went into the Criterion closet and picked this movie, so let's make a box set out of it. Like, what?
To interrupt the ranting for a second, KB says they made a greatest hits compilation. Music fans never complain about those. I will counter that and say literally almost every greatest hits compilation in the history of music has like 2 bonus tracks. That's the only place that you can purchase them. Do that to us. Put 2 films in this box set that can't be purchased on their own, or give us 10 4K upgrades in the box set that are already in there, and announce, hey, these will come out on their own over the next 3 years.
Sure.
But if you want them now, you can get them in this box set. People would have jumped all over that. People would have been praising this like crazy. There is no reason to get this if you even have, I don't know, like, what's the value proposition here? So this will be on sale if they do this half off, which they probably will. It'll be $400. If they do that, that means that you're paying the equal price of 20 different films. So if you have 20 films in this box set already, this is a crapshoot. You're going to be duplicating those. You could sell those potentially. However, if you had like 10 of these, that's a lot more appealing. If you really wanted all of them. But that's all I'm going to say is there's lots of ways that they're going to make this work for people that already had them.
The last thing, what makes me nervous, Arrow Video got bought out by the Hut, and they started putting out repackaging of films they already had in the rights to in little fancy packages so that people would rebuy the same movies. And Criterion just got bought out, and this is the first major announcement. And it's just like a little bit of PTSD around, like, this is a decision that feels like it's made by a VC and not by somebody who loves movies.
That's a good point. So yeah, the obvious answer is Kurosawa, Godard, something like that. The other side, I'll say, you could have gone big in November. Instead of like your normal 4 titles, give us like a 10 title month. Every week release 2 brand new to the collection 4K titles or something like that. That could have been huge. One thing that they could have done, they could have announced some bundles. They could have done like all of the single releases from, I don't know, Wes Anderson, and you can get it at a discounted price from their website. Yeah. I would have loved to see them release some of their most lauded art as posters or shirts, because they never do that. I can't imagine, like, if you release the Godzilla set cover art as a poster tomorrow, you would sell 5,000 copies of that. That's day true. One, probably.
That's true.
I would be all about that life. To me, like, I've seen a lot of people, including Stan right now, calling this a money grab. Chris and I joked about this earlier. I feel like this is an anti-money grab. I feel like this is the set to not get people to purchase it. This is like something, I don't know, that they're trying to see how many people won't buy it.
No, you don't get the booklets, Brandon. You don't get the book. There is a booklet that comes with it, but you don't, I mean.
There's a book.
A book, yeah.
That's it. And we don't know if that includes all of the same essays that were in all the single releases yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Again, if that's what they do, then you know for sure this was a decision made in an Excel sheet, not out of passion. If they just reprint the essays and make it like bind it in a book, it's like, come on, y'all.
It does say deluxe packaging with a lavishly illustrated 216-page book featuring essays on the films by critics, scholars, and authors. So they're all probably just recycled into that book.
Again, amazing movies, world-changing movies.
Yeah, they're incredible. Yeah.
What the hell are they doing?
That's not the issue. The movies are great. It's this feels weird. Again, like I've seen people say this before all day today. All this is the holiday gift to give someone who loves movies but streams and you have a lot of money. That last part on sale in November. This is $400 on a regular Tuesday in August. $640.
Yeah.
That's not a gift price for 99.8% of Americans.
Was I on with you when we were doing Kurosawa math?
I don't think so, but I'm dying to hear what that means now.
No, because I was trying to figure out, I thought I was here, but anyways, I was trying to figure out, there's 25 Kurosawa films. You could argue for 27, depending on how you break it up. And if they were to do that at $20 a pop, you're already at, you're over $400, right?
Yep.
So it would be tough to put out a Kurosawa set in 4K, like new transfers, beautiful edition. I would buy it. Like a $400 Kurosawa set, I would buy. Like, I own.
Don't tell them that though. Price it at cheaper, please.
No, sure. But like, at least there's or something that I can wrap my head around. Like, okay, this is like a thing. Like, okay, for KB, I'm not arguing with you. I get it's a Criterion starter kit, but there's no Kurosawa, there's no Fassbinder. I think there's no Godard. There may be one Godard movie, but like, it's not really a Criterion starter kit either.
There's no Chaplin. There's no Wes Anderson. There's none of these major directors that they do a lot for.
Yeah, it's just 40 random movies that like people that have gone in the Criterion closet picked up and were like, I love this one. No Lynch, no Tampopo, right? My favorite comment in the Reddit post was no Armageddon ? No Bay, no pay.
That's pretty good. Nope, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no
John
exactly.
Waters.
Like it's not exactly a Criterion starter kit. Salo, that's the big one. Yeah. They chickened out.
I agree. It's like a starter kit for art house titles. However, it doesn't jive with the idea of celebrating an anniversary for this company either.
No jellyfish eyes.
I mean, God, what else is there to say? Like this is crazy. Oh, that would have been cool. Maybe they should have included all the films that have never been selected in the Criterion closet. Honestly, that's more interesting. People probably have purchased those less.
Sure. It is beautiful art though. Like it's a pretty looking box.
Yeah. I mean, again, like if I only had 5 of these, I would be stoked on this. I'd go sell those 5 and absolutely pick this up. That would be a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could rant on this for the next hour. But that's not it for today. We got some other ones. Let's keep going. Hey, Kevin was in the chat. Not sure if he's still here, but the Almost Major podcast has also joined the Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. If you've never subscribed to Almost Major, they are an incredible podcast that I've fallen in love with over this last year. They are dedicated to the mini major studios and the films that they've released. You can find great discussions on films like Critters. Critters includes Spaghetti, who's in the chat quite often. They do an episode on Hairspray, Alone in the Dark, But I'm a Cheerleader, tons more with some great guests like Mitchell Beaupre, Scout Tafoya, Dan Mecca, Katie Reif, and lots of other names that you'll recognize. There's Kevin. Almost Major is, I don't know, one of my favorites. Please go check them out. I can't wait till the day that I get to be on this podcast because I love the guys that do this. Such fun commentators. Up there with They Live by Film as 2 of my favorite podcasts on film overall.
No, you don't have to say that. They do better work than we do. Y'all, that's a fantastic podcast. But
it's true, they do.
I'm happy to be on the same network.
Yeah, there's also some other changes coming to the network in the next couple weeks. We will keep talking about them because there's some big things coming, I promise. Moving to our next one, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yes, that one, the Boris Karloff title. This is coming on 4K on October 29th. You can pre-order this now.
Great.
This is wild. This is crazy that this is coming. I love this. Hope it looks great.
Another childhood favorite. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this movie.
And you'll get to see it in 4K. That's crazy.
It's wonderful.
All right, we got a bunch of Kino stuff to discuss now. First, October 29th, they're releasing Buster Keaton's 7 Chances and Sherlock Jr. This is going to have audio commentaries and then some shorts on here as well. I believe these are the same films that were released previously through a Cohen Media release. And I don't see any difference here, so maybe just the rights lapsed and Kino Classics is now releasing them.
Just going with the theme of tonight, I think four chances and 5 chances is hilarious. I've never made it up to 7 chances, but I've heard this is good.
After so many chances, I just had to give up. Oh, that was a pretty good callback. Next is The Falling Star coming from Kino on October 15th. This will have a trailer on it. This one seems to have gotten some pretty good reviews at some film festivals, including Telluride. Eager to see this. Looks nice.
I love the conversation going on about the brunch here in the chat.
Yep.
Stan has 1 typo in 4 years of being a listener.
That's funny.
What is that? Sorry, I don't mean to spend too much time on this one, but that movie, The Fairy, sounds super familiar. Is that an action movie?
Fairy.
That movie sounds very familiar. I won't take up too much airtime with this, but
it's slapstick and burlesque. Now that you say that, I feel like I do remember hearing about The Fairy.
Oh, okay. No, it's a romance film. Anyways, I've wanted to. I've heard of these directors, Abel and Gordon. These are French folks.
Yep.
I swear there's something of theirs. Oh yeah, this one. I don't know how to say it in English. The Falling Star.
The one on the screen right now.
Yeah. Where did this play? Oh shit! I'm sorry, my mind's all over the place. But this was like at a festival, like a online film festival or something that I at the last minute I didn't get to see it. But I remember these are supposed to be very like funny and cute and kind of like almost like an Amelie feeling type of comedy from this Abel and Gordon folks.
Yeah, this one looks great. Certainly into it. Next one is a Mary I can't say her last name. Mary Steenburgen film from 1983 called Cross Creek. This is coming on Blu-ray on October 15th. Also have a Rip Torn in this one. We get an audio commentary by Julie Kurgo and Peter Henkoff. Look back with Mary Steenburgen in this one as well. Yeah.
I see cover art like this and I immediately glaze over. I didn't hear anything you just said in the last 60 seconds. I think these movies are not for me. I was reading the chat. I just can't do it. These like kind of, I don't even know what these are called. These like period piece kind of dramas, like I don't know. But maybe this is a wonderful movie. And if it is wonderful, I want to know if I should see it before Zodiac.
No, you do not need to see this before Zodiac because as far as I'm aware, Mary Steenburgen is not the killer. Man, some of these comments are pretty great. Next title is Garbo Talks from 1984, starring Anne Bancroft. This is going to have an audio commentary by Howard S. Berger and Steve Mitchell. This one also stars Ron Silver and Carrie Fisher, but the big name, directed by Sidney Lumet.
Hell yeah. I think this would actually be a pretty good match. Sidney Lumet talking about Garbo.
Yeah, I'm interested in this one. This is very under the radar for Lumet for me.
Okay, Brendan, normally I would say I would sign up for that, but that means I have to watch like hours and hours of anime. which I can't agree to.
Plus 40 Criterion films again.
Well, I've seen most of those probably, but oh, Stan, it's okay. Okay, all right, fair enough.
Next up is The Boy in the Woods from 2023, coming from Kino on October 15th. This tells the remarkable true story of Max, a Jewish boy escaping Nazi persecution in Eastern Europe. After he is separated from his family, Max finds refuge with Christian peasant Jasko, who hides him in plain sight until a tense standoff with Nazi police. Afraid for his own family's life, he sends Max to live in the woods, where he learns to survive alone. With echoes of a Grimm's fairy tale, Max's experience is both terrifying and magical.
This movie came out last year.
Yes.
Do we need another World War II story?
You know, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of the best stories have been told. What's new about this? Was he persecuted? Was he a Jewish kid?
There's actual magic, Chris.
I don't know. This is going to be low down on the list.
I can't fault you there. Next up is the throwback for this is going to get the award for the most like weird cover art of the night for me.
Seriously, what the hell is
this? This is Will Sasso and Bobby Lee co-starring with Justina Machado, who is from 6 Feet Under. This is coming on October 22nd on Blu-ray, and I don't know how to feel about this cover art, especially with this super awkward Bobby Lee in the corner.
But that whole bottom image is terrible.
It's pretty wild.
Don't those two guys have... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Don't those two guys have a podcast together? Bobby Lee pops up on my YouTube feed all the time, and I never watch him, but they try to force his podcast on me.
This does scream late 90s poster design. It's pretty bad.
Dan, I do not have a problem with Jews, but I do have a problem with the same story being told 100 different times. Like, let me guess. He's a good person. He's a good kid. Like, he's being treated poorly by the Germans. I don't know. I've seen the story before. Like, what's new about it?
Next up, October 22nd, Meryl Streep in Plenty from 1985. This is going to have an audio commentary by Julie Kurgo and Peter Henkoff again. Conversation with the director, and this one is a pretty underseen Meryl Streep. I'm glad this is coming out.
Also kind of a weird cover.
Very odd cover, yeah.
I mean,
but I will check it out.
She would settle for nothing less. Meryl Streep in Plenty. She would settle for nothing less? Nothing less than what?
Than plenty, Chris.
Yeah, leave those Germans.
Oh my gosh, it's a World War II movie.
No. World War II movies made in this one looks like 70s or 80s. Fine, there's still fresh stories now. I'm just saying in 2023, are there really new stories coming out that we haven't heard before? This is the night I get deemed a racist.
Well, it all finally caught up with you.
Bring them all in. I love Jews.
All right. Next title, Fluke. This is our last title, Fluke, from 1995, getting a Blu-ray release on October 22nd from Kino. This is a wild story. So this says, Fluke is a heartwarming and uplifting tale of puppy reincarnation. Directed by Carlo Carle, starring Matthew Modine, Nancy Travis, Eric Stoltz, and the dogs from Full House and Homeward Bound 2. This says, newborn puppy Fluke, waking up on his very first morning, discovers a wondrous world of excitement and fun. Whether romping with his brothers and sisters or curling up by his mother for a nap, Fluke is as contented as any young pooch can be. But when recurring dreams and a series of mishaps trigger memories of a very different world, he slowly realizes that he once had a very different life as a man. Convinced of his previous identity, Fluke sets out on an extraordinary journey that leads him back to his human family. Holy shit. What is this story?
Now this I can get behind. If they said this in World War II, I'm in.
I don't even know what to say about this one. Yes. We got an audio commentary on this with the director and an interview with the director.
What year did this movie come out? I'm trying to. This is a 19 what?
95.
I do like the era where they thought that like these kind of projects were getting greenlit. Like, can you imagine pitching this and the producers being like, yeah.
Oh man. All right. That is our last announcement for the night. As usual, we will cover everything that's coming out next Tuesday, just in case you forgot. And next Tuesday is kind of a big one. We've got Furiosa Mad Max Saga coming in 4K, The Last Emperor 4K from Criterion, that really awkward When Titans Ruled the Earth box set from Arrow, the Bike Riders 4K, Game Night 4K, that crazy 20-disc Three Stooges collection, Scooby-Doo, and what is this one? The Witch's Ghost, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders from Warner Archive, Delta Force 4K from Shout, If 4K, Bob, what is the way that we said this on the show before? And I don't remember the jokey
Bob
name.
LaFlamber.
Bob LaFlamber, 4K, Ladowlos. I don't remember. We were screwing with these when we actually announced it. Kino putting both of those out. Next up is Mirror 4K from Dark Force, Black Mass 4K, Chucky Season 3, Northwest Passage from Warner Archive, that Dick Tracy RKO collection from VCI looks pretty decent, Just Mercy 4K, the Bat Whispers, the People's Joker from Altered Innocence. Hopefully I can finally get that one in. I've been dying to see that one.
I know, right?
Navajo Joe reprint from Kino, Harem Scarum, Warner Archive, Observe and Report from Shout Select, which, by the way, is $30 for Observe and Report, when that's been like a dollar bin title for so very, very long.
That's wild. That's like Paul Blart coming out at $30 or something.
Except Observe and Report is a much, much better movie than Paul Blart.
Okay.
Idiot's Delight from Warner Archive, Brief Encounters and a Long Farewell from Criterion, Maria True Story from Warner Archive, War of the Buttons from Warner Archive, Stars Fell on Henrietta from Warner Archive, 99 River Street from Kino, some standard edition releases, June 0 from Cohen Media, and that's about it. Any of these that you got in or about to get in that you're excited about there, sir?
Definitely People's Joker for sure. I can't wait to see that. I'll actually probably pick up Furiosa. That movie was great.
I've not seen it. I definitely want to check that one out myself.
I can't stop laughing at Dan's comments. You like you like Game Night a lot, right?
I adore Game Night. I think Game Night is maybe the best comedy of the last, 15 years probably.
Dang. Does it have dogs coming back or people coming back as dogs?
It does not, because it's not 1995 and we just don't make movies like that anymore.
It's a shame.
All right. Now, it is time to get into the main event of the night, which is our discussion on overlooked labels. And funny enough, most of mine have been mentioned at some point in the show tonight, I think. So it's just going to be like hammering home how this happens. We'll go back and forth on some labels. And when we discuss these, we're going to give people some of our titles that we suggest. We're going to give some like hints on best way to get these, just random thoughts. If you have any thoughts on these or recommendations for everybody else on the chat, let us know. Let us know what you think. And then also at the end, any of the labels that you think get overlooked. There was a handful of these. Like, I didn't pick any partner labels from OCN. I feel like they get enough attention, but there are a couple that I would say month to month, they just sort of get overlooked as, I don't know, something that, hey, they're putting one out. I'll get them eventually. And then people just forget that they exist. Like, I don't know. Fun City almost kind of deserves to be on this list nowadays. I feel like a lot of people forget they're still doing amazing stuff. But anyways, what is your first label?
Sorry, I don't know if Dan did this on purpose, but so, 88 is like the code word for Nazis. And I have a theory that I'm always a little bit nervous to buy 88 films for that reason. So I don't know if you did that on purpose, Dan, but well played if you did.
That is exactly why he did it.
Oh, I did. Oh, shit. Okay. Wait, Brendan, did you read my mind? Boom. Marvelous. So there is a 5 to 10 minute discussion with I from Arbalos that we did, where he just talks about like how much thought goes into the packaging. So they actually go through and think of like what they love the movie, obviously, and they think about like what the movie would feel like and look like, and like just what the cover should be, and they choose different style of paper. It's crazy. Like this is a truly everything they do, and they only do 2 or 3 a year, so everything is extremely curated, ton of love, and I'm just such a fan of them as people. Obviously, they're the why do I always forget the guy's name? Jonathan.
Yeah,
And
Jonathan and David
Marriott is also the guy that does Canadian International. So this is more of like a passion project for him. It's him and I that do Arbalos. There's a tie from Deaf Crocodile a little bit, where the Deaf Crocodile guys spun off, and they were working together under Arbalos for a while. Just good people doing good work, and movies that I like. A lot of Bellatar. Speaking of something from earlier, yeah, no, I agree. I think they're the one I'd like to highlight. And actually, there's 2 movies I want to highlight specifically from them. So this one is called Chameleon Street. Please watch and buy Chameleon Street.
Masterpiece. Chameleon Street is amazing.
Right. I don't know how it doesn't get more love in the like boutique community.
Right.
Eric, I can't argue with the logic on that. I mean, yeah, totally, I get it. If the movies are great regardless of the packaging, I just love the love and care that goes into it. And this is also a movie. Life is cheap, but toilet paper is expensive. This is a sneaky one of these festival films that came out and didn't get a lot of love. But this is just to show so it's a Wayne Wang film, and in China for like good luck at New Year's, they have you give people packets with money in it, so they included it in just kind of like a part of the culture. Anyways, I don't know. I love Arbalos.
Arbalos is great. This is where I'm going to sound like a dirty name dropper right now, and I apologize in advance. But I spent a good almost 2 hours last week with David Marriott from Arbalos and Canadian International, and just gave me so much respect for what they do, both Canadian International and Arbalos. If you order Arbalos, he is literally like bundling up these titles himself and taking them to the post office.
Yeah.
It is such a small operation. He is working on so much all at once, and the amount of unsung aspects of these smaller labels is perfectly encapsulated in Arbalos. I mean, they're titles that a lot of people have never heard of, but if you take a chance, they're like amazing movies.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go on sale all that often, but when they do, buy as many as you can because it's great to support them.
Yeah.
It's great stuff. Great packaging every time. Great releases. Good special features. Very happy with Arbalos.
I actually think Dan has a good point. Do you want to spend 30 seconds talking about our what's the word?
Sure.
Our criteria here?
Yeah, our qualifications. What did you think about when you were trying to list this?
So in my mind, it's clear, but there are certain labels that are like coming up to where people just instinctively go once a month or follow their announcements. Like Severin's not once a month, but like everybody goes to Severin for the sale and at least twice a year, if not pre-orders their stuff. Vinegar Syndrome, everybody goes, they know about it. Obviously Criterion, Arrow's a big one. There's these kind of like major labels that are there. And I think even though, I mean, obviously I've been promoting a Vinegar Syndrome podcast all night. I love them. They are cannibalizing the industry a little bit. And there is a bit of a tension there because companies like Arbalos, the first thought is like, well, they should be a partner label, but like, that's not cool. Like not everybody should just be funneled in under, one of these other big labels. So, yeah, that's the criteria in my mind, is like websites that people wouldn't naturally navigate to once a month or on sales or whatever.
The way that I looked at this was pretty much every one of these companies put out titles that I have heard people say, I've wanted this film on Blu-ray forever. And then I respond and say, well, X company put it out 2 years ago and
Yeah.
it's still in print. Here's a link. And they go, oh shit, no way. I would love that. I'm going to
Yeah.
buy it right now.
Yeah.
How do we not know about that? With Vinegar Syndrome titles, people don't forget. With Shout Factory titles, people know because they've released them 3 times. With
Right.
Severin titles, like their announcements are an event.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And so, like Siminar says, is Oscilloscope unsung? Absolutely. I mean, speaking of, this is I just got this in my subscription. It's an Indigo Girls documentary. I'm stoked on watching this. However, how many people know that this is even coming out? How many people have heard of this? How many people have heard the word Oscilloscope and went, that's a boutique Blu-ray company?
Yeah.
Not many. So yeah, I'm gonna use that criteria. And a couple of these might be a little bit odd for some people because I've seen Chris's list and I wanted to get some that I think fall under this, but a couple of these are going to feel kind of big, like my first one. And I just dropped a film for the next one, so I'll pick that up after. My first one we talked about earlier. This is BFI. BFI is putting out Seven Samurai. They have so much other stuff that they released that people have never checked out. So like BFI released Targets just like Criterion did. And this release of Targets is so much better than the Criterion release of Targets. It's got a whole bunch of short films on here. It is, I believe, no, it's a single film or a single disc release, but it's got a long booklet on the inside. This was, I believe, cheaper than the Criterion release.
Usually it is.
Like this outshines everything about the Criterion release. So I love this one. Some examples of some stuff that they've done that I've loved. Their flip side releases. So this is the short sharp shocks. These are basically shorts that are horror or cult-ish type of titles, and there's special features on here. And there's 9 or 10 different titles on here, and tons of special features. So on top of all that, 2 discs, long booklet. Like I don't know, this is not something that Criterion would normally do. But they're like the Criterion of the UK, kind of. This is 37 pages long. This is huge. Yeah. So love that. And then they also get some bigger releases for films that maybe some people have heard of, but they give it this lavish treatment. So like Lehen, this got this deluxe box set release from them. This is only a Blu-ray. I think this was done on 4K by Criterion or somebody now. But again, thick booklet, nice special features. Tons of special features, brand new 4K restoration, great looking disc, amazing movie. And it's backed by the British government. Like supporting this, you can feel good about supporting film restoration too. You're actually giving money to a company that is literally, their mission statement is about archiving the film of a nation. That is the whole point.
And funding the Queen, which is great. It just feels good
to preserve her. We got some comments. Sibner is saying, is Nova? Personally, I don't. This is where it gets tough. I don't even really count Nova Media as a boutique label, even though they kind of are. Like, they didn't produce the films, but they're literally just licensing studio discs and not doing anything other than putting it in a. They're putting like a Honda Civic motor in a Rolls-Royce body, and that feels weird. I don't know. Brendan Timmons, the hardest part in this game is having an identity to your releases to the point that people implicitly trust the curation. Amen. That is like the most important part of all this. If you want to be a small label and survive, you have to have something that people can count on. Ronnie says, I mean, I'm a lesbian boutique Blu-ray collector, and I hadn't even heard of that Indigo Girls doc release. And that's because technically I don't even think it's released yet unless you're a subscriber. Def Crocodile, Mondo are the smaller labels that have mastered that aspect. Fully agreed, especially on Mondo Macabro. I agree. BFI always does it right. Network, I guess, would have been had they not gone under. To a point, I also feel like they just did a lot of kind of whatever they could get their rights for. They almost felt like a Mill Creek type of label to me.
Network for me kind of felt like a Twilight Time, whereas like they had their following, and if you followed them, like you follow them, you know, pretty religiously.
Close, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if they Like their releases weren't popping up on boutique Blu-ray. I don't know if that's the best criteria.
I get that. Terry wants to throw out. Is it pronounced Scala, Terry, or is it Scala? BFI just released that, and it seems like Severin might be working on a release of that. That's not been confirmed, but they've been promoting theatrical plays of that. Check out Ghost Stories for Christmas, released from BFI. They're great. Yes. And then Sibner's pointing out, not with everything. Nova put out Arrows, and that's the only way to get it. Didn't that have a Korean release already?
You talking about Arrows, the Wong Kar-wai film?
I'm not sure. Anyways, what's your next company?
So this is a label that you actually turned me on to. So if you were going to, sorry, just really quick. There's a short in Arrows called The Hand. That's probably my favorite Wong Kar-wai thing. I didn't put it as my number one because it's not a full-length film, but like it's amazing. Anyway, so check that out if y'all can see that. Okay, so you turned me on to Celluloid Dreams, and I'm a huge. So this to me, I hope fills the void that Fractured Visions wasn't able to fill.
Oh,
and maybe he'll come back. Like Phil. The only reason he's not doing Fractured Visions is because he got employed full-time by Second Sight.
Well, they just put out 2 new titles in the last 6 months, right?
Yeah, I guess it's just he's just going about it very deliberately, right? And
yes.
Like he's the best in the UK at special feature curation. I mean, top 3, right? I mean, in terms of just putting together a disc, the Second Sight stuff is meticulous, right?
Amazing, yeah.
And so for him, I wanted him to be a more prolific label, and I hope that Celluloid Dreams fills that gap because they're putting out similar movies. It's a lot of genre films. It seems like Italian genre they're starting off. It's a French company, right? So maybe they'll get into more than just Italian stuff, but. Can't wait. This is a Bruno Nicolai. I'm sorry, a Anthony Ascott, but that's not the director's real name. What is the Case of the Bloody Iris? What's the guy's name? This is gonna drive me crazy. If y'all know,
Giuliano Carnimeo is the director.
Yeah. Going by Anthony. Yeah, Carnimeo. Thank you. But you said your words were one of the most beautiful 4K transfers you've ever seen.
Yes.
So let's celebrate Celluloid Dreams.
Celluloid Dreams is exciting. That's the way I'm going to say it. They are definitely exciting. The About page on their website right now says, since the inception of Celluloid Dreams in early 2023 by Lucas Henkel, we have been handpicking underserved movies we cherish so we can allow more viewers to experience these films in the best possible quality. We give these films the respect, love, and care they deserve with brand new transfers and restorations to ensure they do not only match today's home video standards, but to help preserve them for future viewers and help rescue them from potential deterioration and obscurity, which they absolutely did with this first title. Now, unfortunately, that's the only title they've put out, so there's not a lot that we can rave about. They have announced that Black Belly of the Tarantula is going to be coming out as well. However, we don't even know what their second title is going to be. That one is being worked on currently. Black Belly came back, and they were not happy with the restoration. That is going to be, I believe, the 3rd or 4th title now. So we shall see what comes out soon. Hopefully we hear word soon, because I know they're working on special features, because I got somebody to work on the disc for them.
Damn.
These are looking really great. My next one, again, was mentioned earlier a couple times, and I really got to throw out some love for many aspects of this film, but I'm going to trash all over the cover art, because we always do this when we bring this up. Cohen Media Group. Love the label. hate the giant C. Let's get rid of the C, Cohen. Let's do something different about that. They're usually this silver C or this red C. And so I've got these two titles here. The first is The Old Dark House. This movie's amazing. If you've never seen it, check out The Old Dark House. And that's really what I wanted to go off of. They pretty much only release great films.
Yeah.
Like literally everything they do is just fantastic. The Old Dark House is a really great disc. And then this next one, Women Make Film. I think this is 2 discs. Oh gosh, no, it's 3. I never got to the 3rd disc. There is so much in this. It is crazy to think about. This has 840 minutes of content in these that are the actual films that they're trying to promote. They do so much incredible work. I really hope people check out Cohen Media. Obviously, they're a partner label of Kino, and a lot of people overlook that when you go to a Kino sale, you can get these for literally like $9.99.
Yeah.
There's so much work that goes into to these discs. To get them for $10 is astonishing. They have some major directors. They've done Jacques Rivette. They've done Buster Keaton titles. They've done, oh gosh, there's one more director that I wanted to bring up and I totally forgot. Cohen Media.
But they kind of like, there's a label. This is a great, I don't know if you did this on purpose, but this is a great partner to one of the ones I want to bring up in a minute, because Cohen's one of the few labels that's really focusing on like old Hollywood and like really truly like amazing movies that from kind of any era, I guess. But yeah, I can't paste links in here. Is that which is fine. I was gonna paste a link to their store just for people to scan through and kind of get a sense of what
Cohen Media.
Yeah. Is there a reason I can't post links though? Is it like a restriction on the
I think YouTube does not allow anybody to do it.
That's why. Okay.
Unless it's the host.
Fair enough then. It was going to be a link to my OnlyFans page, but
we'll put that in the chat later.
Yeah, Cohen's great. They're one, and they've been around for a long time too.
Long time. And okay, I wasn't going to bring this up, but since we talked about like syncing up on some of these and being partnered on some of these, there's a rumor that the person that owns Cohen Media Group is the guy that bought Curzon in the UK. And that's the reason we've been getting these massive director's box sets, because he saw this vision for this in the UK and wanted to put out these lavish special editions. If anybody can track that down and actually substantiate that, please let me know. Send me a link. Find a way to be able to put that out. I would love to be able to talk about that in a way that is legitimate. And I don't want to report on it unless I see that that's provable. And I can't get the people from Cohen to answer me. So.
I was gonna go. All right, Sibner, hold tight because I want to get back to what you said, but I do want to shine some light since we're on Cohen. Let me go first to Flickr Alley.
Ooh, good choice.
Because when they put their mind and like heart into a project, the stuff they do is insane. Like we always talk about special features on a disc, and they certainly do, featurettes and stuff. But more of their energy. Jeff Massino is pretty much a one-man show, and he has partners that help him. He does partnerships with Lobster, whatever it's called, Lobster Films, I think. But they have a big archive, and he works with all the national archives. But I just want to call out 2 sets just to give a sense of what he does. So he put out 5 DVDs of 173 films from George Millet. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
Like, yeah, people give him a little bit of shit because he's still putting out DVDs, but like, it doesn't, in this case, it doesn't matter. If it truly doesn't matter. Like, they're not going to look better on Blu-ray. I guess they stand a little taller than the Blu-ray, so that's obnoxious, but like 173 movies that will never be released otherwise. So, right. And then the other one I want to call out is Julien Duvivier. So he put out a beautiful box of Julien Duvivier, who's kind of one of the forefront of like French cinema. Oh, cool. That's great. Yeah. Good to know. But yeah, this is a beautiful release. This is not 173 movies. This is, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 feature length films and a bunch of shorts. And again, I think what Jeff focuses on, as opposed to having, like, I don't even know if he has a single commentary on here. But what he does instead of that is he just puts on more movies. And so, the booklet typically gives context, and he has some video essays and some of those things. And there are some films he puts out with commentaries, but it's not so much that. He just kind of like, he goes all in and puts out these really masterful editions of either a director or a famous actor. There was I can't remember the name now. There was a famous actor who was in 100 pirate movies back in the teens, and he has a bunch of his movies. And I don't know, I love the work Jeff does. So.
I just had that name, and now it escaped me.
Yeah.
That release looked really good too.
Yeah, it's good.
I will say for Flickr Alley, one thing that intimidates people is they are a little bit pricey.
Sure.
Their average price is usually about $35, and they don't go on sale all that often. And when they do, their sale price is usually like $27, $28. However, and I hate to lean on this aspect of like, it's a feel good story, but Flickr Alley is also one of those companies that you are genuinely funding archiving some of the most important films as the foundation of film history.
Yeah, that's true.
And other places just are not doing it like this. So it's something you can feel good about spending a little bit more and understanding that you're contributing in a positive way.
Yeah.
Next is a Region B company that I believe literally everything they've ever released is region free, even though it says Region B on the back. I think it says Region B. No, it says ABC on the back even. So all of their titles that I have, and I believe everything they've ever released, is all unlocked region free. And I got to talk about another partner label, this one of Arrow Video, and that partner is Second Run DVD. Now, Second Run DVD, they release like mostly some really great Czech films, Czech New Wave. They do a lot of European cinema. They have incredible special features on their discs. They've done a couple really great box sets. This is one that came out fairly recently. You'll recognize the name on this because he's gotten some love over the last year or so. Tons of information in here, some great films, lots of special features, again, on everything, great restorations. But the biggest highlight for me, when Arrow sales go up, you can purchase Second Run DVD titles from the Arrow Video website, and they're $10 or £10, whatever. That's amazing for like a really great full-blown boutique release. Almost all of them have booklets. They all pretty much have like bonus films or bonus shorts, lots of special features.
Yeah.
They get very cheap very quickly. And as far as I'm aware, if somebody knows different, tell me. But I believe their booklets are always available in their releases. So you don't have to worry about them selling out, which is a big, big selling point for me. Absolutely love that aspect. Second Run, and their name is Second Run DVD. They don't just sell DVDs, obviously. These are all Blu-ray. They're all high def, all solid releases. Please check out Second Run. They do not get enough attention. I know that I post all of the announcements under the Disconnected channel, but still most people that follow this hobby all follow Dawn of the Discs. Dawn of the Discs never promotes anything from Second Run, and it's embarrassing. Like, they are one of the more consistent labels out there and do not ever get enough sales, do not get enough love, and I really hope they stick around for a long time. But because they don't get that attention, they're kind of in danger, most likely. They're probably not even selling, 1,500 copies of most titles within the first 2 years. Mm-hmm. And when you can get them for £10 during an Arrow sale, there's no reason that should be the case.
To put that in perspective, Adam from Third Window was saying it takes him about a year and a half to sell 1,000 copies of some of his like popular ones.
Right.
So if that's, and I think Third Window's in that interesting space. They're certainly not a major, but I think people at least are aware of those and the beautiful boxes that he puts out and stuff. So, who knows how many Second Run are putting out, but they're not making a ton of money. It's a great call out. Okay, so how many more do you want to do? I've got 5 more, but we could shorten it down to 2 if you wanted, or
I
3.
have 4 more.
All right, great. 4 more. So, Dan, you read my mind earlier, so I want to call out Mubi. The title I want to highlight is they put out the Kingdom trilogy from Von Trier. So this is the only thing that I have yet to watch from Von Trier. Running through all of his films was an absolute nightmare emotionally, but he is a master.
I was hanging on to hear what word you were going to use there.
But they have like movies in this interesting space where, I mean, everybody knows Movie as a streaming channel, but like they got Decision to Leave. They have the physical release for that. They got the physical release for Benedetta, for Bergman Island, for After Sun. I mean, they have major festival movies. Like they're building a brand, and their releases are great. I've never had any complaint on quality of transfer or quality of disc or authoring issues or anything. I mean, they know what they're doing.
And they're putting out titles in both the UK and the US, which is a big deal for a lot of these companies. Ronnie, yes, Chris is frozen on video for sure, even though I can hear him just fine. We are able to see titles that they can do more for than Criterion. Decision to Leave, their release of Decision to Leave is better than the Criterion release. Mubi is a great company, and beyond that, they do solid special features. They're fairly inexpensive. You can get them at Orbit, and then when they come out in the US, there are lots of places that you can get the Mubi titles. So yeah, Mubi is an incredible call out. Thank you for that, Chris.
And I think people forget that they're kind of the good guys. I mean, they were around, they're not like some major corporation. They're just out there trying to promote films. So,
and beyond that, they have their own streaming service, which is one of the better streaming services.
Yeah.
It's extremely human curated. None of this algorithm stuff. They have titles that they put up that literally somebody is selecting for them.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Eric was calling it out right as I said it. Brendan is out. Have a good night, Brendan. Did Criterion put out Decision to Leave? I believe they did. I didn't misspeak on that, right?
I don't know. Let me check.
It's just Mubi. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized I was thinking of Drive My Car, not Decision to Leave.
Racist. I was accused of being racist for the whole episode.
I apologize. So yeah, that was Criterion in the US, Mubi in the UK. The Mubi release has like a 3-hour making of. And then the Criterion was like kind of light on special features. Yes, Chris, that will come out at 50% off if they do it at 50% off. Okay, so my next one, we covered an announcement from them tonight, but not enough people talk about Cult Epics. Cult Epics has released some really great titles. Death Laid an Egg is this really great what's the guy's name? Giulio Questi title. And it's a really great film. They've got some great special features on here. One of my favorite titles from Cult Epics is Angst. I'm really hoping this gets an upgraded release someday. I feel like this would do very well on 4K. But the amount of work that Nico at Cult Epics puts into his releases is really telling of how much you care about your films in your catalog when you do what he does. And the crazy thing, Cult Epics has been around for, oh gosh, I think we're going on like 27 years. I never remember what the exact number is from the interview, because he blends a little bit on his timeline, because he worked for a video store before doing the Cult Epics thing, and he was doing bootleg VHS and stuff like that. But Cult Epics has tons of incredible titles that they put out throughout the years. Betty Page titles that nobody else has released.
Yeah.
Some really great jolly titles, some really like underground cult stuff. And then some of the more like obscure art house, like erotically charged European releases that nobody else releases. You can find a lot of those on Cult Epics, and they're amazing movies. Strongly recommend Cult Epics. However, again, their website is pure dumpster fire. Do not buy straight from their website unless you want like an exclusive release. MVD does sales on Cult Epics kind of often, usually like twice a year. You can pick up a ton of stuff from their catalog. Absolutely worth picking up then. You can get them on Grindhouse, Diabolic, Orbit, everybody. Great titles. Check out more from Cult Epics.
All right. I'm going to go with one that you can add a lot of context to.
Sure.
Obviously, you have ties to TerraVision, but I want to call out these bad boys. So, Grave Face Video. I think I'm excited for them because they have like the river is it's the kind of film that would probably tend to get lost in the cracks. It's a simple story. It's like I don't even know exactly how to describe it. It's like this kind of like every these people. It's like Groundhog Day. Sorry, thank you. I couldn't think of it. It's like Groundhog Day a little bit, where they keep reliving the same thing, and they all have awareness that this is happening, and so they're trying to like fit in as much as they can in the time before it resets, and it gets a little crazier each time. But if they're putting out sort of modern day, art house kind of films or festival films in nice packaging, I'm here for it. So I'm excited to see where this line goes.
I will say the art on these have been amazing so far. All the art is hand drawn by Chloe, which is Ryan Graveface's wife at TerraVision.
Oh, cool.
The packaging on these are incredibly unique. You're not going to find these at any other boutique Blu-ray company. They are absolutely doing really great work on that front. But the movies, this is where Greyface is really going to deliver on the goods. So there is so much coming from this line that I'm so excited about. I mean, there are documentaries coming. Big Top Pee-wee is going to be under this line when it comes out eventually. That's coming out as a 4K. River is astonishing. Dawning is a really great release. Everything that is a part of this is such... I don't know. It's overlooked in so many different ways. Even like Big Top Pee-wee. It's a Pee Wee Herman title, but it was never even released on Blu-ray. And so Greyface scooped it up, and we're putting it out on 4K. Like that's a huge deal. There are titles coming that are going to blow people's minds that they were able to acquire and are going to be under this line. Beyond that, the random underseen films that will play at like 3 film festivals and then never be seen again is going to make some people very happy with these. I will champion the Greyface titles till the day I die. The River doc or the River disc is great. We have a visual essay on it that I'm pretty proud of. Very happy with it. It's a great movie. Same director that did Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes, and it's the same writer as that film. And what is the other one? I can't think of it right now, but it's another one. It's another time. Now you're racist just because they're Asian. Yeah, the other one is great, and I can't think of it right now, but it's a stupendous release. Everybody should check out Greyface. They do great stuff. But the big thing too, I think they're the first one that we've talked about as part of this that you can subscribe to. You can get a 10 film Greyface subscription with a really nice shirt and get the next 10 releases of what they're putting out. I am very happy with their upcoming 10 titles, and I think that most people would be too. It's a very, I don't know. It's a really high quality mix of genres. So if you are somebody that doesn't get stuck in one lane, like I know a lot of people just love horror and cult, this is probably not the subscription for you. If you're a big fan of trying everything, this is kind of like the perfect way to blind buy a lot of stuff and really fall in love with underseen cinema.
Okay, great.
My next one, you said Summer Time Machine Blues. Thank you so much, Terry. That's the one. That was the other title I was trying to think of. Same writer. You mentioned these guys earlier, and I mentioned these during the announcements of something as well. You said you count them not quite as a major, but I had to shout out Third Window. Adam through Third Window is he is like the ultimate one-man band.
I know.
I mean, the fact that he does all of like most of the art that doesn't have key art already, he does translations for subtitles himself. He does all of the acquisitions. He does festival promotions for these films. He is on the ground doing everything. And two of my favorite releases from them, One Cut of the Dead. They brought this single-handedly to the US, and this film exploded because of Adam's really, really shouting this out. And this is an amazing movie. And then you shouted out their box sets. I had to bring up their Toshiaki Toyota 2005 to 2021 box set. This one, what did they call it? The later years or whatever? No, it's just the years. But yes, I believe they've done two different box sets of Toyota films. I prefer this one ever so slightly, and I think all of the films have gotten standards now. There's good bonus features. We got commentaries, making of, stuff like that. Adam knows how to pick a film. And if you love Japanese cinema, this is the label made for you. I will shout out Eric, who says Sam Deegan's interview with Adam is a must listen for a multitude of reasons. They show you why running these companies is difficult. They show you why releasing these films sometimes is literally a miracle. And that one episode will make you fall in love with Adam and want to buy everything that he does, because man, he again puts his whole life behind some of these films, literally, and then they take 4 years to sell 2,000 copies, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, this is a great movie. The other big thing, they're also a partner label of Arrow in the UK. You can buy them through Terracotta Distribution, but also they go on sale during the Arrow sales, so you can pick up a lot of them for fairly inexpensive. The standard editions are still great. They're great films, great discs. Go for it.
Yeah. He gets more money if you buy through Terracotta, but if you're budget conscious, it's cheaper on Arrow. So
agreed. Yeah.
Okay. You might disagree with this one being unsung, because people go to their website all the time anyways, but I want to call it Neon Eagle. Just simply because Diabolic has like so much going on. I mean, their titles have sold well, and like I think generally they're going to be okay. But chance to shout out Jesse, chance to shout out the great movies that he chooses for the Neon Eagle line. It's a partnership with Jared from Mondo, so you're kind of supporting just like good people. I don't think they have any subscription or anything like that. They're just doing a few films a year, but everything I've seen from Neon Eagle is great. And anyways, this is it's a label I just have a lot of respect for early on in their tenure.
Yeah, this is a company that people again should feel good about, because it's people that actually care about all of these films.
Yeah, agreed. And Terry, I'll just say, I feel like you have to put a caveat. The Obayashi films, you know, he's the guy that made Hausu. I think everyone knows that, but like, I like his movies, but I do feel like you have to put somewhat of a description as to what you're about to get into.
They're not accessible.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they're great though, and like I'm so happy he's getting some more releases. I mean, his film should be released, but yeah, one of the movies is like straight collage, kind of, for like 30% of it. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah,
good shout. Neon Eagle is great. I honestly, my only complaint on Neon Eagles, I wish they did more than 2 or 3 titles a year.
I know.
But also, they've only been around for just over a year, so I imagine they'll probably ramp up ever so slightly. All right. Speaking of people that put a lot into films that get overlooked, I have to give a massive shout out here to Film Masters. Now, this is a company that people will recognize the logo at the bottom here, because it's very similar to the Film Detective, and that is because they were the Film Detective, and they sold the brand and then started over because that whole thing kind of sucked. But they are doing great films, like this whole release of the Killer Shrews and the Giant Monster It comes with a long book, and they are, I believe both of these were public domain, and they got, we got restored prints, including a restored 4K scan of the giant Gila monster. And the fact that they're putting these out, and on release day, these are like $18.
Wow.
Is so crazy. Like, both films, when they do double features, get bonus features. They are full-length features. They have documentaries. They've got interviews. They've got visual essays. Special shout out to this single disc release that Will and I are on for the Swiss Conspiracy. They're choosing films that are in the public domain. Sometimes they're choosing films that people saw in like the 80s once or twice and then just forgot about, and then they'll get announced and people will go, no way, I saw that when I was a kid on late night TV. I've been wanting to see that again for years. And then they'll put it out and it's like, we get a 4K scan of this random ass movie that you saw in a drive-in in 1981, and suddenly it's this like memory inducing machine that people are loving. Film Masters, the people that work there are incredible. They're incredible to work with. They love what they do. Again, a very small company. Please check them out. Film Masters deserves a hell of a lot more love.
That's great. They've been around for a long time too, right?
Yeah.
In different iterations, but
yeah, definitely.
Somebody who's not been around for a long time but has hit the ground running is a company I mentioned earlier, Era 4444.
Nice.
So I'm showing off the release of Scissor Penis and Run and Kill. My 7-year-old was home when I opened up a copy of Scissor Penis, and we had a lot of laughs about that. I did not show him the movie. But can I show this on YouTube, or is it going to get...
I think you're good.
Okay. It's just great artwork. Anyways, Sam and Logan have been on your show twice, I think. If not more, we've had them on twice. They're just two kids. I mean, I hate to call them that because I mean they don't like to really talk about their age, but like they're fresh out of film school and kind of art school, and they love movies, and so they're putting out the movies they love, and they're amazing. Like my only, like, if there's a complaint, it's that they throw like too much stuff into each release. But I mean that's not really a complaint. It's just they're incredible features. A lot of tchotchkes and merch, which, not massive on the merch side, but I love the fact that the movies are coming out. Love the fact that these two young men are doing such a good job right out of the gate, and I hope they're around for a long time.
Very, very solid lineup of film choice from them so far. Like films that people have been dying to get, and somehow they've clawed some major titles away from other labels that wanted them. So they've done very well so far. I think I'm about to list probably the only label of the night that people have literally, not everybody, but I'm sure a couple people in the chat have probably never heard of them. This is a UK label that I believe is associated with Indicator, if I remember right. They launched, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and they've only put out like 12 or 15 titles, and that is the company Anti-Worlds.
Yeah.
And they have very similar design, literally down to the coloring, down to the font choice. The difference is their spine numbers go in negative order, but their releases are amazing. They always have incredible artwork. They are more modern films than what Indicator usually works with. They generally are multi-disc releases with bonus films, lots of shorts. They usually have really great booklets. This is one I brought down to highlight this because it's got some good art, but it's a lot of writing, and they're extra long, which, again, some of these labels that put out booklets could really learn from stuff like this. And the film choice so far has been amazing. They were the first ones that released what is the dog's title? Dogs Who Wear Pants or whatever. It was released by a Vinegar Syndrome partner label as well. 1 second. I hate putting people into suspense like this. Dogs Don't Wear Pants. They released it in the UK, and it's an incredible Blu-ray disc. Bonus features galore, very cheap. They've released things that you could get like autographed copies from their website, and Diabolic and Orbit carried them for a while, way back in the day, like right after they announced. But I feel like people just don't hear about them. They also don't put out very many titles. I think they've only released 2 in the last like year or 18 months. So it would be really easy to catch up with them. And in fact, I think they did during their last title announcement, I think they did a promo where you could buy all of their limited editions for an insanely cheap price. It was literally like 10 or 12 pounds per film, which is so cheap. Yeah, highly recommend checking them out. It is Anti-Worlds is the name of the label, and they're just great. They're above and beyond with the special features, just like Indicator. One of those that like I guarantee somebody in the chat has never heard of Anti-Worlds, and I hope you check them out. Their website is just like Indicators, super easy to navigate. Highly recommend.
I wonder if Anthony gets involved in the special features for that, the production for those.
Could be.
But they don't sell through Indicator website, right?
They do not. No.
Interesting. Yeah, that artwork for Dogs Don't Wear Pants, their release of that is awesome.
Yeah, it's really great, and pretty much all of it is great. They've got reversible art like this one. This is a double feature title, so they did Charmed for Life is the main title that they were releasing. But if you've heard of the other film, they also did Go Down Death, and it's just like that's really good art for a film like this.
Man, that film is wild. That just came out through a partner release.
It did, yeah. And there's a picture that will probably remind you of that film, Charmed for Life.
I don't want to say it's hard to watch in like a content perspective, but it's so hard to follow what's going on. And so,
right.
I mean, it's fascinating though. Fascinating. Okay. Do you have any more, or is that the last one?
I think you've got the last one now.
Right. I want to call them out just because I had Matt Desiderio in from Visual Vengeance, and I just kind of gelled with the guy. I just like the guy. He works in a video store in New York City, and he like runs film festivals, and he's very much like you would assume he's somebody that works at Troma. He's just very bootstrapped everything, and he's just like a encyclopedia of like kind of schlocky cinema, I guess. And he does crazy stunts. Like he set up what was it? He set up some art display in MoMA. Oh, a video store, a VHS video store in like MoMA or something, and they called him to go be the one that actually set it up. And he's an interesting guy. And Visual Vengeance, I just love the movies they put out. He really understands like the kind of the aesthetic of the people that are going to watch movies like Vampires and Other Stories, Lycan Colony, The Replicator. It's just a great one. But yeah, he's in this kind of independently produced horror film genre, and they're inconsistent with their production. I don't know exactly why, but they keep talking about trying to be more consistent. They're up to release 12 at least, maybe a little bit more, but I have at least through 12. Oh, okay. So they still have it up. That's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I just really like the guy, and I hope that his label is successful and he's able to get a little bit of money for his new baby, which might be 3 or 4 years old now.
Yeah, I agree. Visual Vengeance is fun. They've done some really great stuff. Glad it's coming out. God, so much that I could say about all these that we have not. But also, like, there's so many labels. There's so many that we could have named tonight that just don't get enough love. It's an underserved market sometimes that hurts some of these labels, but also it's an overwhelming hobby. I get it. There are so many films coming out every week. I mean, we just went over like 70 announcements tonight. It's the second week of August. That's unexpected for sure. I mean, we could have talked about Discotex. They've released a lot of stuff that's not anime. That's great. It's overwhelming to keep up with all these. Totally get that. That's why I try to do what I do. But the big thing is I really just want to say try to branch out sometimes. Try to spread the love. Try not to just go ham on a couple Black Friday sales and call it done for 4 months. There are a couple other labels that are going to put out films that you might even like better and that have better quality releases that you could probably get for cheaper, and you just simply don't know about them or don't know how to look out for them. I will do my best to help. Come here and we will do what we can to assist you in finding that. Just let us know what you like, and we'll do our best.
Yeah. I know this is cliche at this point and not needed to say, but the whole idea of like the Criterion treatment of a movie. Now you could say the Vinegar Syndrome treatment of a movie or
Right.
the Indicator treatment of a movie, whatever. But all these boutique labels, like they know what they have to do. So everything is, yeah. Hey, Ronnie, I think, right? I hope I got your
Yes.
name right. Milestone's a great call out.
Yep. I actually wanted to highlight them, and I could not find a copy of the film that I wanted to highlight. So yeah, they are one that I would definitely talk about. Kino's got a handful of partner labels that definitely get a lot of appreciation or definitely don't get a lot of appreciation for what they do, and they deserve it.
Scissor Penis is already selling for $90 on eBay. They
Jesus,
will have a standard
why?
release if it's not already up.
Yeah, everything from Air gets a standard release.
Yeah, don't do that.
Any other shout outs, any other labels that you wanted to, but you didn't just grab on to?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very tiny one. They only do a few films a year at best. Very good chain. Grasshopper releasing. They have good stuff.
Grasshopper's great, especially if you like Hong Sang-soo. This is probably going to sound weird to some people, but I kind of wanted to bring up Eureka. Again, I know that they get a lot of attention because people love the classics and people love the Kung Fu films and stuff. They've done a lot of stuff that does not get enough attention for just being really high quality releases. Eureka's great. Another one, like if you love indie horror, we don't talk about Dread Pictures enough. They put out stuff that comes out on release day. It's like $14, and they're not all great movies, but I like supporting indie horror and up and coming cult films. It's worth checking them out. It is absolutely a line that you could find some really great titles. I mean, Terrifier was released by Dread way back in the day. They put out a steelbook of Terrifier that goes for like $300 now. It's crazy. Fun City Editions, yet another one that keeps putting out great stuff that people don't really pay attention to. It's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like we need to have an Altered Innocence and Fun City segment of every show just to like make sure they don't go away. They're both great.
Terry says, just got a Gold Ninja video order in yesterday. The special features are enlightening and made me more excited for the movies on the disc. Justin DeClue is a champion of film that needs to be paid attention to. His special features are generally pretty great. He just goes through all of tries to make them comprehensive for films that will not get any other release. It's beyond worth it. Canadian International, another great one. We talked about them earlier a little bit, but they're amazing. Possible Films, if you like Hal Hartley, good shout out there.
Possible Films is the name of a label?
It is, yeah, but I believe they only do Hal Hartley stuff.
Okay, all right, nice. That's like Abco with if you're a fan of Jodorowsky, they have his stuff. No, like you said, there's 100. I mean, there's 100. We could
absolutely. Grasshopper is a big one that I wanted to shout out in this portion, so I'm glad you said something. We mentioned Grindhouse during the announcements tonight, but if you are somehow new to the game and have never checked out a Grindhouse release, I know it's a weird way to say that, but their releases are overwhelming with the amount of special features and bonus films, and some of them it's literally like 12 hours of special features, and it's a $20 release. You can't really beat that.
I mean, outside of Bill Lustig, he's probably the most connected person in the industry, right?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, and he stacks it full of good stuff. So.
Which is why it takes so long for many of these.
That's right. Massacre. Yeah, they're around.
They're kind of there. All right. I think that's all we got for tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed that. That was a really fun one to do tonight. And some of these smaller labels, I just like talking about. I mean, they don't get the love, and you're one of my favorites to talk about it with. So thanks for doing this. As usual, everybody, please go subscribe to They Live by Film and the brand new Vinegar Syndrome podcast from Chris here called Punk Vacation. It is off to an amazing start. Can't wait to see what comes next. And yeah, anything else you want to shout out?
Go see some of the stuff on. I'm not just saying this because you're here. Some of the stuff on someone's favorite production. There's legitimately like good podcasts on there. Did I get the name right? I always call it something. Someone's
favorite productions podcast network.
Yeah, no, it's legitimately some good stuff on there. So I think you can't really go wrong. Thanks for chatting. I'm fine with Jewish people.
On that note, the one thing that I was holding close to the vest, wanted to say thank you face to face for writing an incredible piece on Michael Sawavi for the newest issue of the Physical Media Advocate. You can pick up issue number 11 at the link in the description below. It's literally our best issue yet. I know that I say that every time. Next issue will get smaller because it has to. This thing ended up over 60 pages, and your piece is amazing. I really hope people check it out because Sawavi does not get enough love. All that to say, Chris does great work. Support everything he does because I try to, and it's worth it.
Thanks
for being here tonight, Chris.
Great community. Thanks all. Thanks, Ryan.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share it with someone else that may appreciate this.